What We Beat Last Week is a podcast for adults with discussions of a range of sensitive topics. Read the description for specific content warnings. General spoiler warning for all the media we're about to discuss. If you don't want to hear spoilers for a certain thing, you can skip to the next chapter.
Welcome to episode 9 of What We Beat Last Week, the podcast where we talk about all the media we beat in the last week, including books, movies, TV shows, music, and everything else. My name is Joey. I am joined by Josiah.
Hello.
Rachel.
Hello.
I was waiting for you to say your own name for some reason.
You made me so nervous.
And
Nikki. That's a new thing we do where we say our own name instead.
that's how we did it originally. That's how we did it before.
Yeah, that is how we did it.
I completely forgot about that. That's why I was waiting for you to say your own name.
Okay, take 3.
You had a flashback to like episode
I
3?
I did.
Joined by
that way.
Josiah. Yeah, that is how we did it.
Yeah.
That's like whenever you all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, I'm doing this, and then all of a sudden you go back to like a really, really horrible habit or something. You're like, I haven't done this fuck up specifically in years.
I haven't
don't
smoked
know.
crack in a little while.
And then you
You're
accidentally...
like, I've just accidentally smoked a little crack this time. It's been years.
That's me at WIT because I do like data entry stuff, and so it's so rote. It's like all muscle memory, and sometimes the wrong muscle memory will kick in, and I feel like a fucking crazy person. Like I typed something in completely the wrong spot, and I'm like, whoa, I gotta stop.
I gotta use my brain a little bit more.
I did that
I gotta
recently
like stand
because
up.
they like completely changed the they added a whole new kind of progress note that we use instead of the original one when I first started working there. But they don't have a way to get rid of the old version of the progress note.
Oh.
And I just automatically, as I was going in, like clicked on the old one and started like doing it in there, and was like,
Wrong.
this won't go anywhere or do anything for anyone.
That was
You like that one?
That was a good sound. You had like some like throat going on.
Yeah.
It sounded very frog-like.
Yeah.
It was very frog.
That was the wrong frog.
The wrong frog. That's a funny bit.
Anyway.
Speaking of frogs, let's talk about
the
movies.
French. What does that
Who
have
are
to do
you
with
about to call a frog right now?
No, we watched relevantly frogly relevant
Yeah.
media, but
We
that's not
watched-
the first thing that we watched.
We're getting froggy with
Oh,
this
sorry,
one.
I forgot we go in timeline order.
Oh, fuck me. I guess we don't. We watched the
We
2001...
watched Shrek.
Dude,
Are
Dude,
we gonna
come on.
redo the intro again?
I forgot we watched that, huh?
Are we working
doing-
through something right now, guys?
Oh, we're going. Okay, cool.
we watched... Joey and Nikki watched the 2001 hit film Shrek.
Classy.
True. That is true. We
Is it
watched
because
it in
they blew up
theaters.
the frog like a balloon?
He does
Yes.
do that. That like
I love that scene.
that is a movie that I watched as a young child that like certain like visuals stuck in my mind, like the frogs being blown up by a balloon,
And the snake?
Yep.
the snake. Sorry, it was a frog and a snake.
And the
yeah,
song
you're right.
that plays during that. Oh, so good.
The mud at the beginning,
Yeah.
My
The-
beloved.
the ground as they're like skating around in Farquaad's castle. I don't know. The certain things just like stick in my mind.
Whenever they have like the Farquaad like mascot guy that like runs through the line
Yes.
thing, that is so funny.
The one that gets stuck in my head, I feel like that I like will, if I think about it, I go, oh, this was like a flashbulb memory for me as a child, is escaping the dragon lair with
Oh,
the
yeah.
princess. Him,
Oh, yeah.
specifically him
Yes.
sliding down dragon. Like that is
Okay, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
This is such a good movie. It's
Every
still
single
such a
time.
great
It
movie.
holds up. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was thinking about that during the movie because there is like adult jokes and that's funny, but also there's like smarter jokes that kids are not going to get
Yeah.
that adults will get.
Just for the parents.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie so many times, and still, when we saw it this recently, there were things I noticed that I've never noticed before.
Yeah, and this is one movie, since I watched it so young and I watched it many times, it's a movie that I like take for granted and don't pay attention to the plot as much, and this time I did. And like I'm rewatching like the Star Wars prequels recently. I did the same thing where I'm like, I have watched these so many times and I don't know if I could like spell out the plot beat by beat to you. Like why do they go from here to here to here? And yeah, I paid way more attention to the plot of Shrek this time.
This movie was very important in my household. It is still quoted all the time. Like, if I called my dad right now, he probably would throw one out. A quote from this film. I can't believe it's 25 years old. That makes me feel a little ill. But that's why it was bebopping around the movie theater, and I got to see it on the big screen for the first time in my life. So that was kind of a
Really? The first
special
time?
thing.
It looks bad.
It does look horrible.
It hasn't aged
especially
very well.
once again, we talked about this in a previous episode, but there was a preview for the new
Toy Story.
Toy Story film.
Mm-hmm.
The stark difference
Yeah.
between brand new Toy Story and OG Shrek.
2001 Shrek.
Oh my god.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. And it's like fun early, very, very early CG animated film shit. And it's like the ground is like this like one texture that like isn't super duper high res. It's just shit like that. Like things are sticking straight out of the ground with no like
The
nothing in
sunflower
between.
scene. I always noticed that.
Yeah.
When it's like, oh, that's how they used to do animation. Got
Well, and
it.
it's crazy, like, because have you seen any of the behind the scenes stuff on, like, them making Shrek 1? It's crazy what it looked like before that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
how they're just like, all right, they're like these blue T-posing little creatures, and then they have kind of like them hand placing these things.
The tools
and
they
it's
had.
crazy, and then what they then
Yes.
turned it
Wasn't
into from that state is crazy. Whereas like now we're almost starting with Shrek 1
Right. That's
we
like our
make
previs, yeah.
we make they're like, okay, we have Shrek 1 and then
the
we make
show.
it look better. Yeah, that's basically what it looks like now. Like all movies kind of look like really hard to make movies 25 years ago. Just at the beginning of it, it's you open the program and you get those textures immediately.
I feel like I remember learning that Shrek was like the ugly stepchild in the production like world, and if you made a bad name for yourself on another movie, they would like curse you to go
You
work on
get
Shrek.
Shrek,
yeah,
yeah.
you get Shrek.
Oh
Like,
my
I think they
God.
called
Yeah.
it getting
Yeah,
Shrek,
I've heard
and
that.
like it somehow got like a bunch of ragtag people who were kind of annoyed with other things. Ironically, making this masterpiece of a film that is now like a classic and the start of a like whole lineage of movies. Classic, great.
And it's funny, I in the last year or two, the like demo, the like tech demo they made for what Shrek could be like was found. It was like lost media. It's just like a short thing of a character that kind of looks like Shrek. It looks like very early iterations of Shrek, just like dancing and walking. And
Shrek did not dance, really.
yeah, it was a
at the
very
end,
different.
that's
He did dance
Oh,
at
yeah.
the end. Okay.
They gotta end with the song just to
Yeah.
so you exit the theater feeling good.
True.
So they, but yeah, seeing what it evolved into, because like the early character design was a lot different, and originally it was going to be Chris Farley voicing.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. And then he
wow.
died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he
What
died,
a different world we live in.
and they had to
now.
spend a bunch of time like reanimating to fit Mike Myers' voice, and then he like right at the end was like, actually, wait, I want to do it in a Scottish accent, and
That
so
was
they.
the
Which is
last
iconic.
decision. That's actually
There's
so
a lot of
funny. I
people
didn't know that.
because of that movie and also Austin Powers that don't believe Mike Myers is Canadian. They're like, oh, he's an English voice actor, or he's an English actor.
That's
right, isn't that
hilarious.
him? They're like, no,
Nope.
What would you rate Shrek?
10 out of 10. Perfect
Yeah, I
movie.
gave it a 5.
Wholeheartedly
Yeah.
agree.
There's definitely some nostalgia. Well, obviously there's nostalgia there, but it is just a very good.
The humor holds up, and it's not like horrifically problematic like other things that
True.
came out of
True.
this
Is it problematic at
time
all?
period.
Some of the jokes,
I'm sure. Yeah,
I didn't catch
I'm sure we
anything.
could really pick it apart. But that's a beautiful. Like we're sitting here having to think really hard. Like,
Right.
is there anything?
Yeah, I know. I think
when-
the only thing I
It's
can
not
really
like
think
outwardly
of
transphobic anywhere,
is,
which is
yeah,
refreshing.
I think the Farquaad him being short, but also that's. I mean, that I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
they
you're
make
right.
some
That is a
short
little-
guy jokes,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it's kind of like I don't
That
know.
makes maybe it is a little transphobic in Shrek too. But anyway, out of all of the Shreks, what is your favorite one?
It's just the first one.
Really?
I do really love Shrek too.
I love
I think
Shrek 2.
I think Shrek
so
2 has
much.
a crazy increase in like
In budget.
scope and budget. Yeah, and they just
Yeah.
can do more with it and
Yeah.
just had
Finally
a lot
got
more
licensed
cool stuff.
music.
They have licensed music in the first one. That's like
Okay.
that's like the difference between like Disney movies, like the culture of Disney and the culture of Universal. I was thinking about, because this is DreamWorks I think is owned by Universal.
Yes.
Their logo was at the start of the movie. But they
We
fucking
met Shrek
love
at Universal.
Oh yeah, we did. That doesn't mean they own it. Simpsons is at Universal. We met Mo.
Well, for now.
But the difference between those is like Disney is not in the game of putting licensed songs in their movies.
Yeah.
Just like when you go to Disney World, you're not hearing music from like the fucking radio. You're hearing Disney music or bespoke
Yes.
ambient music.
Yeah.
And then you go to
Themed.
Universal and you hear fucking
Ellie
Maroon
Goulding
five.
coming through the
I'm a
the
believer.
loudspeakers.
yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. The song that plays at the end of Shrek 2 is like a solid and on any of my playlists, for real. I love Shrek 2.
Is that I Need a Hero?
No, it is
Live and La Vida Loca.
Oh, it is I Need a Hero by Frou Frou, I think.
Oh, you mean like the credit?
The credit song.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought you meant like the ending of the movie with Antonio Banderas and
No, that
Eddie
one
Murphy.
is a great music number. It's
Good.
like the credit song.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Um,
I love Shrek.
we watched another movie. Me and my friend Nikki watched another movie.
You're really good
We're
friends.
just friends.
Did you guys watch any movies?
We did
Yes,
watch a
we
movie.
did.
We watched a new movie that came out in theaters.
Josiah and Rachel watched a movie.
Yes, we did. Thank you, Joe.
Me and my really good friend Rachel, we
They're just friends.
they're just bros. Kinda.
Oh.
we
I'm uncomfortable now.
we watched Is God Is,
Yes, we did.
new movie that just came out not too long ago, and it's based off of a stage play
Stage production
of the
yes.
same name and is created by the same person who did the stage play.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so let's see
I appreciate
here.
that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
It's nice
she
when like original creators get their hands
wrote
around
and
big
directed
productions.
this movie. Also produced it. Yeah, so yeah, she was heavily involved, which I think is pretty good for creators. Usually they just sell them and they're like, here you go, and they have maybe some input on it. And
Well, yeah, and also going from one completely different medium to another
Yeah.
is kind
Yeah.
of insane.
but I think this is my favorite transition from stage to movie, because I feel like usually what it is becomes it becomes a film. It doesn't just become a transposed medium. It becomes, this is what the stage play is, and this is what the movie is. And there's always going to be differences. It's like whenever books become movies. There's always something that it just feels different. It doesn't feel like a book anymore. It feels like a movie. And I know that sounds obvious, but at the same time, you watch a movie like this and you feel, oh, this feels like what this joint media can be.
Mm-hmm.
That there's these moments where they're narrating and then they switch perspective. So they'll be talking to, like, you hear them talking to the audience, and it's sometimes it's just omniscient narration coming from somewhere else, and then that same character who just spoke then turns to so and so, and they're talking, or they're already talking to them, and they say something in their mind.
Oh.
It's about two twin sisters who have
Horrific trauma
Yes.
in their past.
and they are burned heavily from a previous
Fire.
incident.
Situation of domestic violence.
Yeah, so they
Trigger warning there.
one sister has only burns on one of her, like her arm, but her
She doesn't have
face
hands,
is fine.
like fingers fused together,
Yes.
so it's like pretty
And
serious
so she
burns.
has some damage there, and the other one has horrible facial scarring and up and down her body too. So one passes for potentially normal, quote unquote, and the other one unfortunately cannot pass. And so
It's an
that's sort of the
outcast.
dynamic of their relationship
Interesting.
that is
really interesting.
explored through this. Honestly, there's these moments where the sister who is not horribly scarred. So we have Racine, who is not horribly
She's
scarred.
older and meaner also.
And then we have Anaya, and Anaya is the one who is disfigured on her face. And so Racine will say things like, look at how, like, he made us who we are. Everyone thinks we're ugly. And you can tell Anaya gets very uncomfortable about this, because clearly she's like, well, you don't get passed as ugly. She's like, they call me ugly,
Right.
because they look at my face and call me ugly.
It might be like ugly by association. but
Yeah.
you're not, like, categorized as such. So
And then But yeah,
It's really good.
It's really good. So the main plot of the movie is they get these sisters who have been living together. They think their mom is dead. They think that they know who their horrible dad is, but their mom hits them with a letter out of nowhere.
After they've like grown up in the foster system, they've had
Yep.
no contact with their family of origin.
And mom hits them with a letter saying, "Hey, I'm alive. Come down to the South and meet me." They meet her. She reveals to them, "Hey, that horrible fire that you were in as children, actually it was revealed that your father, who had a court-ordered restraining order,
Order of protection,
thank you, said, I don't give a shit," and walked right through it, choked her out, knocked her unconscious, threw her in a bathtub, and lit her on fire while the daughters watched.
Were in the room.
And they went to go save her, and that's why they're burned.
Jesus.
But Mama was burned horribly, her entire body. And when we see her, she's basically in a hospital bed, but like in home. So it's like kind of like hospice situation. And we have women braiding her hair.
That was maybe one of my favorite scenes of the movie. It was awesome.
Yeah. And so they're talking to her like, what happened? And she's describing this, and it switches to a very stage production-esque situation where you see a woman, she goes back to her being younger, and she's talking about it. And so she's narrating, and then there will be times where she is narrating from her mouth to the audience, and she's saying things, and it's just sort of like the husband comes in and, does what he does, and she sets these children on a task, a mission, and they start referring to her as God. So it becomes because she made them. So they refer to her as God, and God's mission to them was to kill their father. And that's what they set off to do. They have to go through several people. They go through their father's previous relationship that had happened immediately after. She's some sort of crazy preacher who does an at-home preaching, her own little church, and they find out
it's a cult.
Yeah, they find out that she has
without a doubt, it's a cult.
She has another half brother.
Quite a few different half siblings actually along the way.
Mm-hmm. Then it goes to this lawyer that represented him, who got
him off for burning his ex-wife and children alive,
and he ended up ripping with his hands out his tongue, so he can't talk no more. And then but
he talked to the whiteboard, which I think is accessibility like displayed really realistically, and it's a really funny device in the movie because you just like there's like a lot of like tense waiting where you hear him like squeaking with an expo marker. That's fun.
There was this one moment with that whiteboard where they read a paragraph like together. It's very funny. They and that's sort of like lends itself to that theatrical medium where you can tell like this would be him writing on a whiteboard and then them narrating this. And there'll be times where these twins speak with each other.
They have telepathy.
They have like a twin instinct, and so they will just be speaking each other, and you'll see words pop up on the screen, and it will be stylized. Sometimes you can kind of figure out the way they say things. The words will sort of bend downward, or they will kind of be like one
Sounds
word.
Very stylish.
Yeah, it was very
really
stylish.
Very creative.
It was very great.
The characters are really fun. You can see the character development like over time with the twins, and it's very much we talked to Katie about it before we went, so I was expecting it to be a little bit more about like how churches and religion impacts communities in the South, but it was really just about like it's a sibling story. It's like almost like if it wasn't for like the horrible trauma and what ends up being kind of a gory murder plot at the end, it's like a sibling buddy comedy is like the vibe of like a lot of it in a way that I really enjoy. It is very much about like the ills of masculinity and what it does to everybody in a community, but in a way that's digestible and creative and fun. There was more than one moment where like the whole audience in the movie theater was like or like laughed or something. So like it was a really fun movie to watch in community. I'm gonna tell people to go watch it. It was really good. It was fun.
Did you kind of raise your hand there?
Yeah, I wanted to interrupt and say, did you know that Stephen Hawking could only communicate like one word every couple minutes with his... I had no idea, because he does like talks and stuff, and like, but that's like pre-written shit. I did not realize that.
I don't think I knew that either.
Don't think he takes questions either for
And
that
like,
reason.
Well, it did like interviews, but they cut the interviews like, obviously.
Damn.
Near the end of his life, it got faster because they had like predictive text and shit. But I just thought that was interesting. Sorry.
But so what they do is after they meet with the lawyer, they then get an address, and they go to that address, and they find that he started a brand new life, and he is
Multiple, actually.
wealthy, and he has a new wife, and they have 2 more twin half-brothers.
Whoa.
And they have similar personalities to them. One's a bit more a bit more harsh, a bit more eccentric, a bit more personable, and the other one is a bit more reserved.
Personable is maybe not the word I would have chosen. He was kind of an ass.
And
Racine is not personable.
I will
really.
say, but I will
aggressive.
I mean, to be fair, he had like
confrontational.
He had like 5 friends who he was able to call like that to bring over to the house. So I would say that he probably could have...
Because he presumed that these women knocking on his door were strippers. They were young men. I don't think that is a mark of good friendship. They were just men wanting to see a naked woman.
But personable in the sense that he's charismatic to a certain extent.
Charismatic is maybe the word.
I guess I could say
I'm
that
not
word.
100% convinced, but I'll get it.
But they end up killing the wife, and
Spoiler.
they end up killing the stepbrothers, and they finally have this moment where Sterling K. Brown arrives, and he's the dad.
He plays a great villain.
Yeah, and so Racine is unconscious from the struggle with the other twins, and it's sort of this moment between him and Anaya where he is a master negotiator. Like, he finds his dead boys, he finds his dead wife, and he just has this conversation. It's very chill.
He makes a sandwich with his dead children in the house, knowing the murderers are around, because, like, obviously. And he just makes a sandwich, and they're hiding under a table, and he sits at the table and starts a conversation with the one that's alive, or, like, awake, which is just such crazy person behavior.
Yeah.
What kind of sandwich?
I don't remember,
Some kind of turkey sandwich.
but we had chips, and he was crunching on very crunchy chips.
And-
Sounds good as fuck right now.
And
You're
he
just hungry.
then it's very reminiscent of Kill Bill. The whole movie is
Yeah.
very reminiscent of Kill Bill, but I'm not saying that it's like a ripoff or anything. Definitely has some inspiration from it in terms of, or if not inspired, at least just has very similar through line.
Well, any revenge story
Yeah.
is going to have like similar tropes and
Yeah,
beats
there's
and things.
and so they just have this conversation where he sort of pleads his case to a certain extent. Like, he's not begging, but he's very thought out, very professional, very manipulative, saying like, he's like, what happened was I was a young man who, that wasn't right of me, but it explains.
We roll our eyes.
I'm
he
rolling
goes-
my eyes
he's like,
into
but it explains
the next
that's a
house.
young, passionate man's behavior. Unfortunately, it does not excuse it, but it was an appropriate response what I did. And he says like, I did not put you in that fire. Your mom pulled you into that fire.
We call that triangulation.
Yeah, and he goes, and we revealed shortly before that Anaya is actually pregnant, and it just eventually ends with she almost forgives him, and then he fucking just hits the shit out of her and says, if it weren't for you being pregnant right now, I would scoop your eyes out and feed them to you.
Oh.
And
I think that part was very indicative of, like, he felt ownership of her even through that, because, like, it's a continuation of his line, and, like, I wasn't going to murder what could be his grandchild. Like, everybody else he's going to murder, and that's totally fine. But, like, there could be a new baby. That's insane logic, but, like, that was the logic.
yeah, I don't know if I believe him all the way to this
True.
extent, but he said, well, I don't believe him anyways, but I'm saying there was an extent where he was done with the conversation, and he goes, after all this is over and I bury my dead and you have that baby, I will be more than happy to have my grandchild over here at this home and have them bounce on my knee. And he's just like, I will
Absolutely
be
not.
more than happy to be the perfect grandfather, and we can forget about all of this. She unfortunately, or I guess I would say fortunately, says, no, I'm not into that. So she goes to fight him. Racine eventually wakes up, and they kick the shit out of him. And I mean, he got some good hits in there.
It's an intense fight scene.
They have this rock in a sock, and that's what that's been their weapon of choice. Yep, exactly. And they're kicking the shit out of him. They're like fucking passing it back and forth to each other.
It's very dancey. That was one of the scenes after we talked about it that I could see how it was transformed from a stage production into this. It was very choreographed.
It reminded me of Captain America Civil War, whenever Captain America and the Winter Soldier are like passing his shield back and forth while they're fighting Iron Man. It kind of reminded me of
Hilarious
that.
Comparison.
Exactly the same.
Basically the same movie.
It was sick. And then they finish him off the way that he horribly burned their mother. They drag him he kind of like stumbles his way to the bathroom, and they light him on fire and throw him in there. And as they're preparing, like they
turn their backs.
They reconcile.
To walk away.
They reconcile with everything. They're like, "Hey, sorry that I said these things to you." They're like, they finally like, "Okay, we've achieved our mission. We're good. We're moving on."
As he's burning in the bathtub.
And he then, at the last moment, reaches out and grabs Racine, pulls her into the fire with him, and Anaya runs out, and
the whole house burns.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually a very sad ending.
Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't want the siblings to die. But, a story like that, I understand why they are written like that. No, I really liked it. The characters were very well written. There was a few very artistic scenes, like the braiding scene. You can hear the clacking of fingernails as they braid, and it's wonderful. The mother, is burned like everywhere, and she has like a mask sort of covering her face, but like allowing her to like use her mouth and nose and eyes, and it looks very Queen Mother mask vibes. So there was definitely like some art history sprinkled throughout, and like African culture sprinkled throughout, like the southernness of it all. It was very cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, and so then you can also see there's other inspirations from what you could do on a stage versus what you can do in a movie. For instance, she says like, "I want to show you something." Mom does, and Mom has her blanket lifted up, and you just see steam rising from her lower legs and torso, and just steam rising. And she goes, "This is what he did to me." And so that kind of fueled them. But getting back to what I was doing right up about Racine's death is that it felt almost she was on a path of, she was showing like signs of almost that she was his daughter. She had these sort of this anger and this hatred,
murderous
and
tendencies,
and was okay with killing, and was like, she was the one who was originally like, "I will do this. You don't have to be involved." And she's the one who ended up racking up the higher body count. She was the one who was the first to throw the first punch from the very first scene in the movie to the very last bit. She was the one who was willing to throw the first punch, to get involved first, like throughout this entire movie. And it just felt like, though she could have gone and lived a life, would she have been satisfied with that? Would she have still acted out? I felt like, I don't feel like it was necessary, but I think that for the good of, it's like, how long do you live as the hero or how long do you live until you become the villain? Or do you die being the hero? And so.
Did you come up with that?
No, I did not. That's why I fumbled my way through it, because I'm an idiot.
That's how that's actually supposed to be said either.
Yeah,
it's a cliche,
but
in a different way.
That's kind of what she did. She died a hero. What could she have become after that? Would there have been too many questions asked? At least this can be explained as, maybe she did it all. I could say that Racine did all of this, and she kind of, like, unfortunately got me off the hook for all of this behavior.
I did like that part of the ending, because it made it confident. It made me confident that there wasn't like legal ramifications that anybody needed to worry about. I'm a nerd. I always think about that at the end of these movies. Like, okay, everybody's dead. The family trauma is ended. What happens when the police find out what happened, and who's going to be responsible for that? And like with Racine being killed at the end, it was very easy for Anaya to be like, she did all of this. I was just an accomplice. And they were traumatized from the foster care system. So it was a lot of hints about trauma that they have had in the past. So like, motive wouldn't have been hard to find, I don't think. So
and they throughout the entire time, like they were building up. They're like, remember what second foster daddy did. Remember what third foster parents did. Remember what fourth. So like they've been through it.
Yeah.
And damn, that movie, I would say, I mean, it's probably like an 8.5 out of 10. I would say.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was a 9.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
It was
that was
really good.
Very,
Sounds really good.
very good.
It was a wild ride.
Well, we don't got to watch it.
Yeah,
We
we ruined it for you.
We got a very detailed beat by beat.
But no,
No
it's
need.
perfect. It's near perfect. Unfortunately, I don't know why I have my reservations about it, but it was just it was very, very good. But it's just something's preventing me from fully making it like a 10 out of 10. I think that there was just there was a lot of good moments, but it wasn't like the entire time like awestruck.
Can I bring something up?
What?
Is it maybe because you don't relate fully with the characters? Because like I can say that I don't relate with being a black woman in foster care from the South. But I thought it was really good, and it told stories that I don't think it told a lot, in really uncomfortable ways that I think people probably should reckon with a little bit more.
Maybe. I mean, definitely can't relate to that, but I would say
Maybe
that
not.
at least the way it was written and the way that it was portrayed was very understandable. Like I could relate to them because I felt their plight. Like I empathized. So maybe I can't sympathize, but I can empathize at least. So maybe. I don't know.
He's a human with a soul, everybody. We did it.
He's got theory of mind. We, in the same vein as that movie, we watched The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Very similar, actually.
I like this one more than Part 1. How do you feel about that? You look apprehensive.
She was thinking.
Yeah.
hard.
I rated it 0.5 less than part 1.
Really? What did you get out of Part 1 that you didn't get out of Part 2?
I could say
Quality.
I could ask the same thing.
Okay. Well, I feel like things happened in this movie for sure. Kind of nothing happens in the last one.
Maybe I just like being in a silo.
Yeah, I mean, I feel so much of the first one was dedicated to like fabricating propaganda and stuff, and like that feels like a subplot of a movie,
Yeah.
not the plot of a movie. And it definitely could have been if they decided not to split it into 2 parts. But I feel like we got more. This movie more than the previous movies asks you to think about like what if like the rebels aren't like a wholly good faction, like what if it isn't just like good versus evil, because I feel like the other movies are just like these people are poor people who are subjugated by the capital and they need to rise up and take care of business. And then I feel like this movie is like it's like, well, maybe not maybe there are means that are too far to like achieve that. What do
I
you think
agree.
about that?
I agree with that. It's also like, okay, so just because you're from one of the poor districts doesn't inherently make you a good person.
Yeah.
Or better than somebody from the capital, morally or otherwise.
Yeah, and I just like that it was like the goal isn't just to replace President Snow. The goal is to replace the system. And when Katniss realizes that what's her name, Coin, is just going to be another President Snow, then she's like, okay, fucking kill this lady.
I'll take care of that real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
No worries. Shink. Releases bow 3 feet higher than originally intended. And it's awesome. That is an epic shot.
Yeah, and
It's very predictable, but still satisfying when it happens.
is it predictable? I mean, you knew. I mean, you learned this twist like 15 years ago. Was it predictable back then? I don't know. It's hard to separate what we already knew from.
I also can't remember how. Does anyone remember if the book and the movie is exactly the same as far as the ending goes?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Okay.
like she is supposed to shoot him, and she shoots her. That is how it goes in the book as well. You're probably right that it is predictable, because it's like they telegraph it hard with all of the horrible things that they do, like Coin does in like the last half of this movie. It's like the bombing of the of just innocent children, and the saying, you know what, we should do a new Hunger Games with other people's children. It's like, okay, well, yeah, you're probably right that it is predictable.
And only because we've seen Katniss come so far of having that fight within herself of how far am I willing to go to actually stop this, or do I want to be this leader or whatever. And in that final moment, it's like, well, if she doesn't choose to get rid of Coin, then what was all this for?
Yeah, and I almost feel like they made it too personal for her, because it sort of makes the choice really easy when it's like, okay, this person killed your little sister.
Right.
Okay, well, it kind of doesn't matter what they've ever done ever before that or will do in the future. I'm just going to kill this person. Like, it sort of just made that decision up pretty neatly for her.
Yeah. Again, I feel like this one holds up pretty okay.
Yeah, there's more game-ish stuff, like Hunger Game-ish things, because it's like, oh, we got the games designers to make traps and shit in the city. It's like, okay, so there's a little bit of that left still in this, and there's that weird it's a cool scene with black goo.
Yes.
I enjoyed that, where the black goo like floods like
It's
this
another
town
thing
square,
that I really would like to try.
Ferngully.
just like Ferngully. I don't think I've ever seen
Oh,
Ferngully.
why has nobody seen
I haven't
Ferngully?
seen that either.
God, it's a classic. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, it's again having that futuristic, horrific, torture-y kind of stuff that we got with the actual games that you don't get really at all in part 1.
Yeah,
Mockingjay part 1. So
yeah. There's always like the like in kind of interesting world building in the background of these movies, where it's like we're in a future where like some percentage of people are so well off they're doing shit like making new bugs and stuff. Like like here we invented this bug called a tracker jacker for our own purposes. New bug just dropped, and it's like the rest of people are like starving to death.
Yep.
Seeing some parallels there.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing about this series, this film, whatever, the whole thing. It is so close to home and reality.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that way, it definitely holds up to that, this is real life, guys. This is, if you take a look around.
That's an interesting comparison. I like that I guess almost you can say like the first movie is a little detached, where you see it more dystopian, because you're like, okay, they live in like a district that is dedicated to coal mining and being poor, and then they're like, okay, but now they're being subjugated to these games. Whereas later, it's all about, hey, we find out more about what's really going on in these places. It's not just that these are like, oh, the difference is that these people grow agriculture and that this is the governing district. It's no. These people are so well off, they're doing things like making bugs. And then you see that in our world, where all of a sudden we get a headline that drops just the other day that they've put a fruit fly's brain into a computer, and you're like, what does that mean? And you're looking into it further, and you're like, who is it for? And you're thinking about it. You're like, okay, is this about trying to get us closer to the simulation? 2050 is what they say. And so you're getting closer to this. And there are people who are living District 12 right now.
Yep.
In your city. And if you think it's not, you've just not gone to that part of town.
And not just not just in a third world country with quotations. And it's happening not too far from where we live, where other people live. I mean, you think about like Washington, D.C., you're like, oh, okay, that's where everything's being made. But in the Hunger Games, they would just take all the homeless people and all the poor people and throw them in like District 12.
Right.
Whereas they don't have that here.
America's
they just gotta
never
let
done
them hang
that.
out, I guess.
Surely
It's crazy.
America's never done anything like that.
Look at San Francisco. Whenever a Chinese president came to visit,
Homeless
they
people
just
disappeared.
got rid of them.
Where'd they go?
They put them
That's
somewhere
a
else.
really good question,
It's
Joey.
a great question. They put them somewhere.
Jail might be the best place for them.
I'll take
in
the
those
homeless
situations,
people and put them somewhere else.
because at least they're not dead there. But I don't know, and that's a wonderful question to ask, because I don't think a lot of people were asking that question.
I think a lot of people. I think we ended up finding out an answer, but I don't. Maybe it's part of my civic duty to be more educated on that, but I did not find out, and that's kind of very sad.
That's ominous stuff.
But, Suzanne Collins didn't come up with this out of her butt. She probably observed this in her own bureaucracy, right? So,
dystopian ideas have to come from somewhere.
yep.
Yeah, it is a YA series, but it feels like it tilts. I don't know why in my mind it tilts like younger. It feels like mature for young people. Like I don't know why in my mind. I think I just read it very young.
And I mean, the movies feel very violent because you're seeing some crazy stuff going on for sure. I mean, for 2015, I guess that's kind of on the cusp of now we just have gore everywhere all the time and it's normalized. So,
But yeah, I feel like it's good as like here's child's intro to like social issues and and
Upheaval.
dictatorships and rebellions and social upheaval,
propaganda,
things like
all of those things, especially propaganda.
that. I rated it 1.5 star above part 1,
Interesting.
so I think I gave it 3.5 and 3 stars to.
I said
Part
7 out of 10.
3.5 and 7 are the exact same rating.
Wow.
We love math.
That's damn true. We love math.
Math.
We do love math.
I don't love math. Sorry.
I think that I would never do meth because I might love it.
And
You would
that's
definitely love it.
good.
That's like the thing. That's why.
That's the thing. They say
Well, sometimes people don't love it.
that's
name,
fair.
name
Then you're
3
still
people who
addicted
don't
to
love
it.
math.
Name
I
3
would
people who
break
love it.
confidentiality.
True.
No.
Yay for HIPAA.
Anything else on Mockingjay Part 2?
Nope. Other than I'm looking forward to Songbirds and Snakes and whatever the frick else is coming.
Oh yeah, we're gonna watch it? Okay. Forgot we still have to watch another fucking Hunger Games.
Well, we don't have to watch it yet. I kind of want to read it.
Oh, okay. No,
and
but
the other one that's coming out this year.
yeah, you're gonna read Sunshine on the Reaping or whatever. Or wait, what is the
Sunshine on the
Sunrise.
internal.
Sunrise on the
Reaping.
Reaping and Songbirds and Snakes.
Which
are
one
the
is
two.
the new one? The
I think
newest one.
Sunrise on the Reaping.
Okay.
Question
That's
mark?
like the Haymitch prequel.
Yeah.
That's
So you're
the one
gonna
that
read
you
Songbird
bought me
and Snakes.
physical copy of. Or did you buy me? I don't remember. Whatever.
Whatever.
I have one of them. I'm gonna read it, and then we'll watch it.
Okay.
That's a
That
threat.
is a threat.
That's a threat. Joey, what movie did you choose to watch without me at my request?
Hokum.
Hokum.
I watched
sort
Hokum.
of want to see this, so I don't want to listen to spoilers. I'm not sure how to handle this, but it is on my. I want to watch it.
Then leave.
I might, if that's okay. If you're not going to be offended.
No.
Because I do want to see it still.
All right, go to the other room, Rachel.
Oh.
You okay? Yeah. Okay.
I will get into spoilers. I don't know if I'll go beat by beat, but Hokum. This shit is like embarrassing because we're talking about Hokum, and then we're gonna talk about Star Wars, and I'm gonna be so much more complimentary to the Star Wars movie than the like
Yep.
small horror like artful movie.
Oh no.
So I did not like this movie at all. I went into this movie not really knowing anything about it. I knew that it was a horror movie. I knew it had Adam Scott. And I like Adam Scott well enough. He's Severance.
He is Severance.
He is Severance. So I didn't have expectations going in on what it would be like. But my expectations were set pretty quickly when it starts with a stupid fucking fake out horror vision jump scare, ghost appears behind you jump scare. And it doesn't let up on that. Any opportunity this movie has for a jump scare, it takes constantly. Or if there's not an opportunity, they'll invent an opportunity and just have a vision or dream or something. So, which is my least favorite type of horror movie, is just one that jump scares you whenever it wants to. And I feel like a crazy person because I made my rating on Letterboxd before I looked at like what other people thought of the movie.
Which is what you should do.
Which is what you should do. Sometimes I
agree.
I agree. Sometimes I do it just because I'm used to doing it and not used to running being a participant in a movie review podcast.
Hey, that's fair.
And I kind of like to know if I'm going way out on a limb, and I think I'm going way out on a limb on this one, because the consensus is way higher than I gave it a 1.5 star.
Whoa.
I really did not like this movie at all. It's so discordant and all over the place and messy. People are like, it's so atmospheric. It's so atmospheric. The jump scares are earned. I don't think these people know what the fuck they're talking about. I feel crazy hearing this shit because it has a little bit of atmosphere and it has some moments with some sauce, and but it's so few and far between. It's crazy. And it is Adam Scott goes to a inn in Scotland, I think, and scary things happen. And I said this to Nikki. I like there's a witch in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
There are ghosts in this movie, and there's a normal murderer in this movie, and those things have no relation to each other whatsoever. They are not related. It's so messy. There is in this inn. There's a honeymoon suite where it's like, oh, I locked a witch in there. The owner of the inn says that. And I think that is funny, and I think that is a fine thing. If there's a witch in the honeymoon suite, it's very funny to just say, oh, I locked a witch in there, and like gives no like further explanation. Or it was like the front desk dude was like, yeah, he locked a witch in there like years ago. I'm like, oh, okay. And that also pisses me off. People being like, they didn't explain the witch. They didn't explain the witch. I hate those people with the core of my being. I hate those people who want an explanation for every little thing. That's not the problem I had with the movie. It just feels like I felt like the tension was constantly undercut by the jump scares, where I feel like it's building an atmosphere and it's building tension, and then they'll have a musical sting or something, and it's like, ghost over your shoulder.
My favorite part, I think, about watching you do this is just like the amount of times I've seen you like rub your brow
because it's distressing to me, because I feel like I've like disconnected with reality with this movie, where I am so far off base from everybody else with this. It's so confusing to me.
I want to watch it to see if I have the same thought, because I feel like we have very similar thoughts and evaluations on movies, but there are times we disagree on things.
Yeah.
I think I want to watch it just to see if I'm like, no, you're crazy.
Yeah, now I really hope that you and Rachel should go see it.
Yeah.
But it's like there's okay, a really funny part of this movie is every once in a while they will have these scenes where somebody is framed like fucking perfectly dead center, and like behind them is like this very clean digital looking Gaussian like blur, and they look like a mix between like a Civ 5 world leader menu and when you're talking to someone in a Bethesda game. It's just like they're dead center. It's blurry behind them, and they're just like delivering their dialogue. I'm like, is this reshoots? What is this? What is going on? Why does this look like this? But the rest of the movie is pretty nice looking. It's just those weird spots where it's just like, this is so clean and weird. Why did you perfectly frame them like in the exact middle of the screen for this like exposition, whatever. Adam Scott, I thought he would be better than he was in this also. Like, he plays a very mean character, and it's not just like standoffish or anything. Like, he burns somebody with a spoon. It's
Jesus.
like, damn, okay, well, you're just a fucking asshole. And it just feels very one note. Like, it's just like the same sort of thing throughout pretty much the whole movie. So I felt like he was just kind of boring in this. There were a couple really good, interesting scenes, I thought, that maybe people looking back, they're like, those scenes were sick as hell. I love this whole movie. There's a great scene of him in like a chalk circle on a bed, and a witch is like outside the circle, so you can just see her through like the sheer of like this bed, like those fancy beds with like the drapes around them. Canopy. Yeah, it was like, that was actually very creepy. There's a great shot of the witch climbing up the shaft, like this dumbwaiter shaft, where he thinks he's safe because he just looks down also a pretty creepy shot of her looking up and you can barely see her, and that stuff is actually good. I honestly think I would like it so much more if it was just about that and there wasn't all this ghost shit, because also in there is just ghost shit where it's like he's haunted by his past, like he did something horrible, so he's like haunted by it and it manifests in ghosts throughout. And it's just,
you ever manifest in ghosts?
You ever manifest so hard?
well, they're real ghosts, I guess, but he also sees a ghost at the beginning when he shouldn't have seen a ghost, so it doesn't make any sense.
Maybe he's having hallucinations this whole time.
They do hint at that at the end, but then they immediately say, no, it's not a hallucination, because they show physical proof of the things happening.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, oh, I wonder if all that was real. Yes, it was real. Don't think. It was real. It was all real. Here's physical proof of it actually happening. And the plot itself is just so messy, of just like characters going back and forth and ending up in weird places, and like, it's like, how is this character going to get back to this situation so they can be part of the plot, and how can we keep them away from this place so they aren't part of the plot during this part? Okay, well, yeah, I guess you had to do that, whatever. So yeah, I think very lowly of this movie. I just think it was maybe not a good script.
What did you rate it again?
1.5 stars. It's embarrassing.
Is that the lowest
It's so
rating you've
embarrassing.
given a movie?
No, I gave 0.5 star to Scary Movie 2.
Oh.
I like on this podcast, I think it probably is the lowest I've given a movie. But on my Letterboxd, I have a 0.5 star for Scary Movie 2. Barely a movie. That movie is. This movie is at least 3 times as good as Scary Movie 2. I would give it 1 out of 3 stars. Also, yeah, I don't even want to think about it anymore, because it's just embarrassing. Because now I'm gonna give a much better review to stupid fucking Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu.
What can you do? We gotta call Rachel back.
Let's call Rachel. Rachel!
Yoo-hoo!
Oh, yoo-hoo!
Big summer blowout. Is she sunburnt? Oh, thank goodness.
She barked pretty quickly. I guess she didn't want to be out there too long.
It's hot.
Me and
She loves
Nikki
that.
watched. Yeah, but the UV is high.
Oh.
Me and
Yeah.
Nikki watched The Mandalorian. Me and Nikki watched Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Which, first off, horrible title.
It's got great mouthfeel to
It's got
it, though.
maybe the worst mouthfeel
Mandalorian
of any
and
movie.
Grogu.
And is there nothing in the movie? Like, I hope you guys will get into this, but is there nothing title worthy at all else in the movie? Like, it's just the characters. Oh,
yeah,
okay,
that's a
maybe
little
not.
bit of a
Spoiler.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean it's a bit
Elaborate,
of a
please.
like indictment on the movie that
Yes.
there is pretty much nothing else.
So, if you know anything about Star Wars and what's happened in the last decade or more, I guess.
Yeah.
More, I guess. So The Mandalorian started out as a show.
Mm-hmm. In
How many-
2020,
How many seasons have
there
there
have been 3 seasons,
3 seasons.
and also a spin-off of Boba Fett. where
Right.
very integral things to the story of The Mandalorian happen in 2 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, that was a choice as well. And then they come out with this movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah. Can I say my suspicion is they were thinking like Star Wars as a brand has suffered to some degree. It's been, love The Last Jedi or hate The Last Jedi. Love it or hate it. It was incredibly divisive and some fans fucking hated it. And then Solo came out and I don't know if it bombed, but it did not do well in the box office, especially compared to other Star Wars movies. And then The Rise of Skywalker, hate it. I don't think there is love it. I don't know if that side of the discussion exists. And then we have years of Star Wars on TV instead of cinematically. So it feels a little less special. The last few Star Wars movies didn't hit. And I was thinking, what people universally pretty much have liked is The Mandalorian, at least season 1. People are like, yeah, and the last Star Wars movies weren't great, but really like The Mandalorian. Yeah.
I'd even say season 2 a lot of people really liked. I would say people kind of talk a little shit about season 3 of The Mandalorian, but even still, I think that they refer to The Mandalorian as a series to be the superior TV show.
Yeah, and Andor is definitely better, but it was definitely not as widely like spread as
I love
The
it.
Mandalorian.
Get on program.
And obviously they're not going to make an Andor movie. Well, they did.
Well, they
It
did.
was called Rogue One.
It
Right.
was.
And it wasn't very good, unfortunately.
No.
R.I.P. Andor.
R.I.P. Andor. But so my thought was, they're just trying to use what has been successful and maybe try to get people back into cinematic Star Wars. It's like, oh, I just watched the Star Wars movie. It was good. It had that guy I like, and it had that little puppet.
Cute little guy. Little Pepe.
And so for some reason they sort of decided, let's turn like 4 or 5 episodes of The Mandalorian into a movie.
And that is what it felt like.
Yes.
But with all that being said, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this film.
That's not what I was expecting you to say.
I walked into it and was like, I hope that it's okay, at least.
Yeah, it could be an issue of expectations, like we often say, because my expectations were not very high for this movie, and it was sort of exactly what I expected of it, being several episodes. It felt like several episodes of The Mandalorian. Like, it wasn't very cinematic.
Well, it's crazy that they... Okay, so we'll look at the other Star Wars movies that came out since. We have Solo, which they didn't just name it The Adventures of Han Solo and Chewbacca and the Millennium Falcon. Like, they just called it...
That would be so
They called it
crazy.
Star Wars... Or they called it Solo, a Star Wars story, right? Isn't that what it...
Yeah,
Like, the
yeah.
proper title of it? And then they have Rogue One, which...
Star Wars story.
Great. It's a great name. I get that that's their team, but they
Right.
didn't call it Saving Andor.
Yeah, they were
Plot
definitely...
to blow up the Death Star.
Definitely
even then,
trying
that would be cooler.
to use The Mandalorian as a brand.
The icon, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they decided to throw the name Grogu in there. It's a stupid name for a dumb little puppet.
But
which
everyone
works,
knows-
We'll get butts
which
in
works.
seats.
Everyone knows it as Baby Yoda, but you can't put Baby Yoda in the title.
Yeah.
No, because he's not Baby Yoda.
I don't hate the name Grogu, but it's a properly dumb name for a properly stupid little puppet that I love.
Love that guy.
So, aside from the title,
Yeah, title aside, the fact that it could have been a season of a show instead of a feature film, I had a good time.
but if you were like, here's like the first 4 episodes of The Mandalorian in a movie theater, I would go into that and watch it and be like, man, I really
Yeah,
enjoyed that.
That would be awesome.
So there is something to it. It wasn't as cinematic as maybe it should feel. It didn't feel like an event, like a Star Wars movie.
No, not at all. It definitely felt very different than any time I've ever gone to a theater to see a Star Wars film.
Yes, for sure. So that I didn't enjoy. And there were weird things that added to that. Like it had opening credits. Like
It did.
Like it had the actors' names. Like
Oh.
and it had like a little intro.
Like a TV show?
No, it had like not like not exactly, because it was just like a scene of them landing on a planet and like music playing and then like the actors' names showing up.
Did it do like a title crawl?
No. There
What?
was like none of the other spin-off movies have had title crawls either. Solo and Rogue One didn't have title crawls.
I guess I blanked those out.
Maybe. But it has like an opening text. It's just not a title crawl.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think both of the other ones do as well, if I'm remembering. I don't know. But yeah, that also made it feel... And then there's a title card.
Yeah.
So it just all these things that sort of made it feel not like a Star Wars movie, not like a big event, more like a TV show on a big, really, really big TV.
Yeah.
But the movie itself, like, it's a little ugly.
It's ugly?
Ugly, like not formatted for movie. Like it's like a TV show. Ugly, like it's not expected to be like what a movie looks like.
Especially
That's so bad.
we watched the Red Letter Media review of this film as well. They have a very negative review of this movie.
Yeah, so
but
I'm not worried about like copying what they say, because
No.
we are way
More generous.
We liked it a lot more than they did.
But they did call out, if you look at like the quality of this versus Rise of Skywalker.
Here's one of the worst Star Wars movies, Rise of Skywalker. Here's scenes from that and scenes from The Mandalorian and Grogu, and like the difference in like excitement and like action and how cinematic, I'm just gonna keep saying it, how cinematic it feels,
Right.
is so stark and crazy. And it's like this movie is especially those scenes very gray.
One tone.
Yes.
And that's wild. It makes it lend to that theory that it is just several Star Wars, The Mandalorian episodes put onto a movie. Do you think they just ran out of, like, they're like, fuck, we can't make 8 or 9 episodes for a season, and we just gotta put something out there?
I think it's probably, I'm convinced that they're like backing away a little bit from Disney Plus, and we know that to be true because they're putting out less content in general. Like they put out that Darth Maul show, like they're putting out animated stuff, but they're probably just stepping away from a little bit from putting Star Wars as a TV show onto Disney Plus and trying to lean back into, let's see if we can make $1 billion at the box office. Let's try to, like, that's way cooler if we can just all in one.
Do you think it's like maybe a good theory would be that the rising cost of streaming services is just daunting to the extent that, like, that we can't keep just raising prices. I mean, you can, but they're like, maybe in an effort to not doing that, they're like, we'll just release a movie instead. We'll put less on Disney Plus, stop making that content there as often, so that way we don't have to keep allocating bigger budgets to do things on this. Yeah. And so we can just focus more on movies, and we just have this service where we just put, like, we have all of our original movies, all of our previous old movies. We'll just kind of throw things on there from other IPs that we acquire. And it just is a thing that we don't have to put additional money into creating new things. It's just like a vault of watching whatever you want on it that we've previously made.
Probably.
I think that's honestly probably a good fucking idea, because I cannot tell you how pissed I am at Netflix every time that they raise my fucking thing by
Netflix,
$2 and then they release the most dog shit Electric State piece of shit ever that I've seen, and it was $500 million to make, and it sucked so bad. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, do you want to watch the next season of Enola Holmes 3? I'm like, no, even fuck Netflix, off, just stop. Just let me just put like Conan the Barbarian on it. Let me watch it. Take it away from me. Give me fucking Jackass 1. Let me watch that. Take it away from me. Put the Mask of Zorro on it. Let me watch it. Take it away from me. I don't give a shit. Just let me watch things that exist.
Yeah.
That's my rant.
That's a good theory. I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going on at Disney?
I don't know. I had a
that
thought,
is part of the problem with this movie is Dave Filoni having his greedy little hands on every new piece of Star Wars.
Be kind of a loser. I don't know.
Who, Dave Filoni?
Yeah, I think he might kind of suck. He makes multiple cameos in this. Almost more than a cameo. Like, we see him in his dumb fucking cowboy hat sitting at the bar in this movie. And I'm like, ugh. Dave Filoni, get out of here. And then he's in an X-Wing.
I don't want to see your face in the movie. Thank you.
Producer?
I don't even know. I think probably he's had his mitts on like every most recent piece of Star Wars.
Unless you're Stan Lee, I don't care that you're in the movie. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly. It felt like that's what he was trying. He wanted that moment, and
you're never gonna be him.
Nobody else wants that moment.
He was like the second unit director.
That's so weird and egotistical.
Yeah,
it is.
So he was the co-writer, producer. Yeah.
No reason for him to
The budget was $165 million, and guess what? They matched it.
Yeah, it'll probably
they
make
had the little
some amount of money.
Grogu cups and
Yep.
buckets, Mandalorian buckets. Like, I'm sure the name got people to buy tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here, listen to this. So Favreau and Filoni wrote a 4th season of The Mandalorian by February 23, but production was delayed by the labor disputes in Hollywood. During this time, Lucasfilms reevaluated their plans for the franchise and decided to prioritize a Mandalorian film over the 4th season. And it was announced in January. And let's see here, filming began. But yeah, so they were writing that, and they went, you know what? Scrap that. We'll come back to that. Let's do the movie.
Yeah.
That seems like a kind of...
You know what was really good about this movie? The practical effects.
Okay.
Fucking love a movie with practical effects. Give it to me.
Puppets.
Talk about it.
I fucking love a puppet.
Yeah.
What's the new Hut Were they a puppet?
No.
No, they
Fucking
were
God
CGI.
damn it.
They were CGI.
There were a lot of huts. I don't know. Jabba's puppet is not good.
Jabba's a puppet, though?
Hey, guess what? The Hutts are horrifically disgusting creatures. They're not ever going to look good.
I get it,
They're
but like
big slugs.
I'm talking about like his puppet in the original movies is
Yeah.
pretty bad.
I still like it that like there's something about
It's
my brain.
classic.
I can separate it. I can separate a good puppet and just be like, oh, okay. It's like when Yoda appeared in The Last Jedi, and he's just like, and he's kind of just hopping around. He's like, kind of bouncing around. I'm okay with it. Something about my brain goes, okay, and I'm okay with it. And maybe that's controversial. I see a puppet and I go, okay, we got this. And for some reason, but if I see a little CGI guy bouncing around, I go, oh, fuck.
Grogu's puppet is like the perfect balance of like good puppet and like bad puppet. It's like
Yep,
where
yep.
he like his fingers don't articulate. Like
No.
it's so
Do
when
they have
his-
him doing hand?
Yeah, and they
things?
do. We see close up things of
And like
him with his
picking
hands.
things up.
Unarticulated fingers.
Yeah,
That's
and
funny.
they have the multiple Babu Fricks. In,
Oh,
Babu,
if you're a Babu
Babu.
Frick stan, as I am, and as everyone should be, you will
yeah,
enjoy
they-
this film.
Yeah, because there's 4 Babu Fricks, and they get
You get lots
kind
of
of a
screen
lot
time.
of screen time.
Come on, baby.
Probably the Babu Frick.
Their little voices are so funny, and they talk. They talk to Grogu a lot, and it's funny.
Oh yeah, those are on all the promotions.
Look at Baby Yoda holding
So they're
Babu Frick.
Very small.
They're very small. They have a small ship.
Yeah, they have a tiny ship.
They're like,
Oh,
all right,
why
let's
would
go,
big-
Mando.
why would they
and
have a big ship?
he's like, I can't fit in your ship.
it's so funny.
He's
That's
an
the kind
he's
of
an
scale-
Anzelin.
Scale inconsistencies
Anselm.
that I don't feel like are in space enough, because I know if there's
Yes.
fucking aliens,
Yeah.
they're gonna be not the same size as us.
Yeah.
Yep,
And
yep.
that's gonna be a transferable issue.
Yeah, I mean, like, plot, storyline, not the strongest Star Wars story, but you know what? I enjoyed it. There was-
Well, yeah, it was like an hour and a half in. It felt like it sort of ended. I'm like, okay. I turned to Nikki. I'm like, roll credits.
Nope.
And then I'm like, where do they even go from here? But there was like the twins that I forgot about by that point in the movie. But
Oh, it was 132 minutes long. So that is
That's really
over
long.
2 hours long. So you get an hour and a half in, and then there's still 40 minutes of movie left.
yeah,
Yep.
Damn, that's a long ass.
yeah.
movie.
So
The only issue I really had was, and this isn't really even an issue. So Mandalorian in general has like it's pretty violent.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was pretty violent, but then it was like the messaging and everything, like Rada Hutt's whole character development or whatever is very little kid level
yes,
storyline.
Yes, and
So
we're-
that
and,
didn't
like-
really match up for me.
and it was like his dialogue even sounded like it was written for a
I'm
kid's
not gonna
show.
be my dad.
Yeah.
I'm a
That's-
better man than my dad.
An
Yeah.
actual line.
And it's
pretty
it's delivered by
Jesus.
like by a
Jeremy
weird
Allen White.
CGI creature with a deepened Jeremy Allen White voice, kind of
God.
staring directly into the camera, delivering this long ass
Oh my
monologue.
God.
Imagine
It's like
big,
haunting.
big
If
hut.
the bear was in Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah, that was a little off-putting for me, but you know,
Martin Scorsese played a character in this movie.
Yeah, yeah, he was a little monkey guy.
Hugo Turant, an Ardenian shopkeeper.
Yep,
he
made sandwiches.
was apparently a call. Oh no, I'm thinking of who's the guy that was with Mando and Grogu for a bit. The purple guy,
Zeb.
Zeb.
Because
How could
that
I
was the
forget
most
that
glup
name?
shitto moment ever, where this I was combining horrible and horrifying, and both true. CGI purple creature
Yes.
appears on screen, and people are like, "Woo!"
Yeah, cheering.
Tank Dempsey.
Yes.
that's Steve Blum. So, what the hell? They got him to do
Well,
Zeb.
he voiced it in the cartoon,
Okay.
a Dave Filoni cartoon.
Yeah,
so
see?
Dave Filoni
Dave
shoves him into
Filoni.
this, but he was also in some other shit. He was in like Ahsoka or something.
Yeah, he looked familiar, but I couldn't recall who the hell it was.
Zeb.
Some rando side character.
And he was kind of in it a lot, at least in the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
He
It was
sort of wasn't
weird.
there
He
in
was
the middle.
randomly there. That was the
Yes.
other thing that I could have done without.
And it was definitely playing the hits of The Mandalorian,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, okay, we're going to get him back his old Razor Crest ship.
It wasn't his Razor Crest. It was a different one.
Yes. Yeah, but that one
Same
exploded
ship,
into
though.
4 million pieces. You know what the fuck I meant. Getting his old style of ship back. So we get those same visuals from early Mandalorian, and then he gets a copy of his gun back. He gets another version of his gun, his classic gun. He says all the cool one-liners that he says throughout the series.
This is the way.
I can bring you in warm, I can bring you in cold. Grogu does like all the cute things that he does in the series, even eating the green macaroons or whatever. So it's definitely playing the hits. It's like,
absolutely,
here's all the good things from The Mandalorian. We put them all in here.
My favorite part, might have also been your favorite part, was Grogu waddling around on Hutta in the jungle. And that was a real crispy part. I've already decided I want to find clips of that to be playing in the background as like calming.
That's hilarious.
You know,
Lo-fi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
that part was really nice. It was just it was so calm and looked pretty. It was like, it almost felt like a totally different style from the rest of the movie, like visually.
It was Grogu's moment.
It was Grogu's moment.
A Grogman, if you will.
Where it's just him and the Mandalorian is not conscious, so it's just him walking around the forest, and it's lovely. The music throughout this is good.
It's very different.
They got Ludwig Göransson
Yeah, I was
back.
about to say Ludwig did it.
He didn't do season 2 or maybe season 3. Like, they lost him, I think. But they got him back for this. All of the music is good, except for there's one song that is really bad.
Yeah.
And
it
weird.
felt like a trap Mandalorian hip hop mix.
And it was so early on in the movie, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
There's
Ludwig
just that one
Göransson
song that was
lost
not
the
good.
sauce. He like hit his head or something. I'm going to play a little bit of it because I want you to hear it.
We'll be cutting this out.
We can play 2 seconds of it.
2 seconds only.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars Disney people will come for us.
Oh, they'll fuck this. Ooh.
Yeah, it got too synthy.
I like Cynthia. That's fun.
I like synthy too, so
I'm
it got
literally
too synthy
walking
if
down
I
the
didn't
aisle
like
to a
it.
synth song.
You
so-
are? Oh my god.
I can't fucking find it, but it pissed me off.
Pissed you off.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah. It's hold music, people.
It is. It's
This
like
is space hold music.
Space elevator music.
Yeah, I hear this.
Please hold while we connect you to the next available dispatcher. Solo dispatch.
Exactly.
Perfect Huttonese.
There's too many Hutts speaking English in this movie.
Yeah, that is off-putting.
They need to be going umbo dombo
Exactly.
jimbo dubo dubo.
I don't want to see
and then
their
some little guy
CGI hut mouth speaking
forming
English.
like.
Yeah.
Mandalorian says Tewanawanga. I liked that. I pointed at the screen.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so I gave this movie 3.5 stars.
I gave it 7.9 out of 10
What the fuck?
That's the first 0.9.
Yeah, what is that?
because
Whoa.
I gave Mockingjay Part 1 a 7.5. It's definitely better than that.
But it's not quite an 8.
Not quite an 8 because I gave the drama an 8
The drama's fantastic.
And the drama is better than Star Wars,
Yes,
Mandalorian and Grogu.
by 0.1%. So
I think I gave that 4, so I think it's at least half star better. And yeah, with all of the non-cinematic stuff, aside, it does.
I think Star Wars people will like it, and that's that on that.
I like the droids that are in it.
Yeah.
Oh, forgot to mention there's
motion.
stop motion creatures in it.
that's fun.
It's-
Very cool.
Love
which are very
that.
fun. I'm like, whoa! I thought
Seems
that
like
was
a
awesome.
smorgasbord of Star Wars stuff.
Yes, yeah, for sure. They had like old droids, like Clone Wars era droids,
Really?
in like with like stuff on.
Like commando droids, like
Yeah.
assault droids and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Really interesting.
which was cool,
Runner.
and they looked cool. I don't know, I liked
They
that
did look cool.
little baby moment for me. What is it? Baby enrichment.
Dancing fruit.
Yeah, that was my dancing fruit.
Your Cocomello moment.
Yep.
That's
That's all the movies we watched. That was a lot of movies, guys.
Hell yeah.
Gee, Louise. Shows?
Shows?
I watched the docuseries.
Let's do it.
It is called The Rise and Fall of the Jesus Army.
Oh.
Getting right back to those religious cults. It's about an evangelical cult in England, which I did not know was a thing. And it actually gets really dark. It's a 2-parter. So it's not like a whole like series. But it's about a cult that started in like the 60s by this one guy who was just very influenced by the American evangelical movement. Uses a lot of the same language, but just takes it in a really different direction. And in like the early 60s, 70s, maybe even into the 80s, it just seems like, oh, it's a bunch of hippies wanting to live in communal housing. That doesn't sound that bad. That doesn't sound that malicious. And then obviously their numbers grow, and those kinds of communities attract vulnerable people. And so single moms start joining because it's a bunch of people and a place to live where the rent's not expensive and there's multiple people around to watch your kids. And that's a breeding ground for abuse. And so the short version is, at one point they have up to like 3,500 members across England and like a bunch of different communal houses. I think at one point they have like 100 different communal houses across different places in England. With hella kids, like hella kids, like
That's
kids that are brought into it, kids
worst
that are
nightmare.
born into it. No, it's very, very scary. And, the culture changes. They try to bring in like new young people. So they literally make a like Jesus rave. Meanwhile, the kids in this community aren't allowed to have toys because they're too worldly. That doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm not a cult member. Thank God.
Yeah.
But like these kids are very sheltered. They're not supposed to like be of the world, but they're also supposed to like bring in young people. So they're really swimming in some contradictions. And of course, one man gives a select group of other men special power and access, and wouldn't you know it, leads to child sex abuse, unfortunately. So, there's a longer version, but the short version is, at the height of their numbers, 1 in 6 children in this community is abused sexually or physically, or
Fuck,
both.
that's crazy.
And all of the leaders knew about it and just protected each other and just like shuffled people to different houses and told them to forgiveness was a really big thing. So they just told them, well, it God forgives them. So
Sounds like another large
I know where I've
movement.
heard that line before. And didn't take it to the police, which is very telling of legal expectations.
Yes.
So the leader is just one guy with very, very militant views on Christian evangelicalism. He literally, like, at one point it says, we're going to make the ground shake with our stampede for Jesus. So it's like very military coded, very like attractive to young men, which I can understand that a lot of evangelical movements are more attractive to young men who like don't have purpose and like are looking for something to do and something to put their young vigor into, and they find these communal houses where it really from the outside seems very idyllic. It's like cottages in the English countryside with a bunch of people who like pray really hard for Jesus. Like on the surface that sounds nice. But Noel, I think, is the cult leader's name. He is in charge of it from like the 60s up until like the 2000s. It goes a really long time.
Holy shit.
It goes a really fucking long time.
Jeez.
But he gets cancer and dies. Doesn't tell anybody he has cancer, but like withers away very clearly and then dies. And pretty shortly after his death, they have like a reckoning about the culture, and there's, as there always is, a group of people who are more progressive and more for like, let's address some of the issues that there clearly have been, and a group of people who are like, no, we're just going to leave it the same. It's going great. Not going great,
for some
people don't
people.
like change. And in this deciding of what happens next after the cult leader dies, the progressive members who are like wanting to improve and give people some reparations for the abuse that they've taken basically request community members like reveal the abuse that they've been to. Like they literally have like sheets that they hand out where they're like, who was involved, rough timeline of when this abuse happened, what happened, how old were you when this happened, and they end up compiling like a shitload of reports, like a whole fat ass file of these reports, and they still don't take them to the police. They're just sitting in an office, And I don't remember how exactly the police find out about it, but there are reports from ex-members who make the police like go do their due diligence, and they're in the office of these church leaders who are just sitting on this file of abuse allegations, and the police officer is like, I could not stop looking at that folder. Like, it was like staring at me from across the room, and he says, hey, can I look at that? And these very naive people who assume that they've done nothing wrong are just like, yeah, go ahead and look at it.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So they have no idea how serious this is, and so they just freely hand it over to the police, let them take it to copy, and
Nice.
obviously they never get it back. And I think maybe 5 people are prosecuted after all of like
What?
maybe close to 500 allegations, which is really sad. But it turns into a he said she said with literal children being the accusers, which is very sad. And so that's like the story of the cult. The way the documentary is filmed is actually wild, and I don't know that I've ever seen a documentary filmed this way. It follows ex-cult members who were like children in the cult, either like brought into it and raised from a young age or born into it, as they're like being deprogrammed with like a cult deprogrammer in a clinical setting.
Oh my.
I'm like getting goosebumps thinking about it, because some of the scenes are so intense. People are like actually having breakdowns, and it feels kind of wrong to watch some of them. It feels
Interesting.
Whoa.
it's very intrusive. And there's a lot of like really intense scenes with like hard cuts, no transitions. Sometimes there's like a text screen where it like gives a little bit of context, but it's like really harsh, very intense. And like the whole first episode is just like about the history of it, and like makes you a little bit more familiar with the characters, and you sort of understand the kids are the ones that are like telling their story from like the narrator perspective. But at the end of the first episode, it ends with, and that's when we learned about the children. And then it like hard cuts.
God.
Damn.
And it was very late, so I couldn't watch it all in one night. But the whole second episode is about like how the child sex abuse starts and escalates, and how it's hidden, and how the members, the high leadership men, protect them. And wouldn't you know it, the women are submissive, so Lord knows they're not going to be listened to in that community. Funny how that works. Every single time in a cult, I wonder what patterns we could see. But it's really dark. You see some of the cult members like make really good progress like through their deprogramming, but I felt a little uncomfortable with like the methods that they
Yeah.
used.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Interesting.
It was really hard to watch at certain points. I had to like take breaks from the last episode.
Damn.
It was really hard. But it just I feel like it showed a really interesting like negative impact of globalism that I hadn't really thought about, how cults, regardless of where you are, can span across borders and across oceans and continents, and the iterations of them are different based on the culture that they're in. Because British religiosity is pretty starchy and buttoned up, and not that like people don't like speak in tongues regularly in
Right.
British religion, and they don't like put their hands up and like
Right,
sway, which is like
right.
really big in evangelicalism. And so that's why it was so attractive to so many young people. They were like, we see these Americans feeling God, like we want to feel God. I feel things deeply. And so it really was just attracting people who like didn't have anywhere else to put this energy, wanted to find like-minded people, and they found them, but also found people who were abusers and looking for people who were ripe for abuse. And there was at least one scene of like the Jesus raves that like made it seem a little less scary. But I was just thinking about how I like to go out, and like I can't imagine like going to like a dance setting where it was like flashing lights and funky EDM music, and you just like everybody around you thinks the exact same way you do. And like I can't imagine that. Like that's not the point of going out. I can't imagine going to like a bar and being like, yes, everyone here agrees with me about everything. Why would you do that? It was just, it made me appreciate diversity. It made me appreciate globalism in a new way that I hadn't really thought about. But it was intense. The methodology, I'm still very like ethically conflicted about.
Yeah.
So it was well done, technically,
Yeah.
but I have a lot of ethical qualms about it.
The thing is, we have to see it in action like that So, I hope that somehow all of the people that were filmed, were able to properly, consent to that and everything.
Can you?
I hope they had some sort of like editorial input about what parts of their story were included and what parts weren't and how it was edited, because that also plays a really big role. And it was wild. And admittedly, they have a lot of female survivors of sexual abuse. They had one male one, but the only women that they interviewed were survivors. They didn't have any ex-members who were just like, they didn't have leaders because they were women, but the only leaders they had were men who used to be members who were like kind of implicated in the abuse, sort of. So you could tell they were like a little bit on their heels and a little like, well, back then we didn't realize how bad it was. And I was like, really?
Yeah, I
you
realized
just saying
as I was assaulting my 5th child of the week that this could obviously be a problem at some point.
And it wasn't even that. It was like the cult leader Noel was very into like, there's one line where he's like preaching to people and he said, we give our genitals to God, which like, I don't know how you're supposed to interpret that. But he's very like, very conservative, very like, don't have sex. Women in these communities should be very modest. Modesty was like pushed super hard. But it's revealed that he was the one not only abusing children, but abusing young boys. So he was going against the theology in so many ways. And the leaders in the cult would just like protect him. They would hide the boys that it was happening to and tell them that they just needed to forgive him. And I don't think that there's a way for those leaders not to be implicated in some way. And so I have ethical concerns about that too. It was a wild ride. Noel, the cult leader, thank God he's dead, because there would have been so many charges against him. I think like hundreds of the allegations were for him specifically, which is scary and sad, and makes me nervous for people who really just need support in their communities. And wouldn't all of these solutions be meaningless if we lived in nations that provided basic support for young mothers? Wouldn't that be a different world we would live in?
Sure would.
I don't know what I would rate it. I've been thinking a lot about it, and like, I didn't really enjoy watching it. It was hard to watch. I learned a lot, so like I appreciate that part of it. And you really do see like the deprogramming in progress, which is something you don't usually get from these kind of cult documentaries. But man, the ethical concerns that I still have, I cannot get over. So I think I have to give it like 6.5.
Okay.
It's worth the watch if you're like, if you want to learn about cults, if you're interested about religion in that way. But if you're not, don't do it. It's heavy.
And I guess that would be a very interesting thing, because I always find it really hard to rate documentaries, especially because it always feels like it either did its job or it didn't. And so maybe maybe it's something like you need to split it into two different thoughts. Like there's rate it 1 out of 10 for informativeness, or 0 out of 10 even. Just rate it on a scale of 10 for informativeness, and then on like quality of viewership.
Right.
So it's
technical.
So it was pretty highly rated for its informativeness, but the ability to watch it and feel
it was a hard watch.
Like you could watch something was hard. Yeah. So interesting.
It was very interesting. It definitely added an international aspect to some of the evangelical stuff that I've been learning about. And man, it'll send a chill down your spine. Protect your kids. Don't let them be unobserved with random adults ever, really, is the lesson. And like, believe them when they tell you somebody's done something to them. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that one's hard to believe. Happens every day.
Anyway, now that we're done with heavy stuff.
Well, next
Hard
show.
pivot.
I was just thinking how we possibly pivot to the
Is there a
boys.
transition? I don't know.
Here's the thing.
The hard transition is indicative of the documentary.
We go
itself.
from the boys, like, ugh, to like the boys who are
Yeah, that's
adults.
what I was trying to avoid. Making a joke about it.
Right on the head.
Problematic and uncomfortable for entirely different reasons.
Yep.
Another show that we watched and finished. It's Dunzo forever and ever.
Yep.
Amen.
Nothing else coming back ever from it.
Because everybody's dead.
The Boys.
The Boys.
Yeah, other than all the spin-offs.
All of the spin-offs
Although
that
they
they're
did cancel
doing.
one of the spin-offs. They
Oh, yeah.
canceled Gen V.
They did cancel Gen V.
I didn't watch any of that, but it was supposed to like tie into the last season of The Boys and then continue at least for another season. And then they just canceled it. So I don't know what happened there, but
I didn't even know about spinoffs.
don't worry about it. Don't
I'm-
worry, you're a
I'm
little
not.
head.
Don't even
You know
think
those
about
characters that they randomly meet on a cobble road
Yes.
and then go to the hut? Those are from a different series.
Oh.
That was the... That
Yeah,
was what...
they introduced them, and I went like, "Oh, this feels like
Yep.
this." Like, because I didn't watch Gen V,
No,
but
me
I
neither.
saw them
Crossover
like meet
episode.
them, and I went, "Oh, hey, look, this seems like we should know these characters. Why
Yep.
don't I know these characters?" I just instantly went, "Oh, they're probably from a different show."
Yep.
I just
Felt
assumed
weird.
that they were from last season, like during the Starlight or group, and that I just didn't remember because it was so unforgettable.
Unforgettable.
I mean,
Wow.
forgettable.
High praise for season 4 of The Boys.
Yeah, how about that? Is that unforgettable?
I sort of had the opposite
Yeah.
opinion. I thought it was kind of forgettable. Oh, okay.
The Boys season 5,
Yeah.
8 episodes.
Yep.
Damn it! Come on.
You guys are making me more confident in my decision not to watch the show.
This was supposed to be the blowout. This was supposed to be the stakes are high. Going into this season, we know that we have a soup killing virus. We know going into this one. We have something that we're cooking up and we are ready to do it. And throughout this entire season, we have it. We have it. It works. We know it can work. But then also the introduction of the V1 is like the big thing of saying like, hey, by the way, the original superheroes were created much like Soldier Boy, as we find out, created with this V1, and the soup virus does not kill
Right.
like it does. So Homelander is getting even closer to becoming actual God, and that's what we have. And we have this cast of characters, and we have all these introduced superheroes. And how does nothing happen? How does nothing happen to anyone that we give a shit about?
Well, it's just another example of like maybe these stories should not be 8-episode TV series. Maybe
Yeah.
you need to adapt.
This could have been a movie.
Yes, you need to make these. You need to have something more. You need to have shorter arcs that happen within these seasons. It just feels like nothing happens when you start with he's going to become a god, and then it only it happens like episode 6 out of 8 or something, or we got to use this virus, and then the virus thing is capped in like episode 7. It's like it's just these long stories that there's not points of progress to point to and say like that happened and it progressed this, that happened and it progressed this. It just
I think season 4 and season 5 should have been one singular season.
Probably could have done that.
I was getting tired of the show at the very beginning of season 4. Like I was already like, oh my, can we put this to rest? But also, and again, lots of parallels to the real world and real things going on. That's important. And like it being making fun of as well some stuff that's going on now and putting it into perspective. Like this is how stupid things look right now.
yeah. I didn't.
No, it's
I
very
don't
good
think
about
they expected ICE to be such a hot button issue
Yeah.
when this episode or when the season released.
Because that was the episode 1. It was
Yeah, it's like people are being taken from their homes and put in camps and shit. It's like I don't know if they knew how on the nose this was going to be when it released.
yeah.
Interesting.
But this was just so much rehashing of stuff we've already hashed. It's already been rehashed.
Yeah, it's like a parody of things we've seen. We're still parodying the same things we've been parodying for like 4 seasons. Yeah, for sure. I didn't mind the end, the actual end. Like people have a lot of issues with the season finale.
Really?
The series finale. Yeah.
I felt like the series finale, the final episode 8, was probably the best episode of what's happened. I would, just because it felt like everything that should have happened, like, the way it ended. But I feel like the leading up to that was just very lame. And then there was also some parts of that episode which were also kind of lame. Like I feel like the there could have been this moment. I don't know what he could have done, but there should have been something, because he's been kind of a bitch the whole time. Like, we've seen some of his powers, but he's kind of just, and I get it, and I think he deserves to be the position that he is because of how he has been acting, especially in the first season. Like, what he forcibly did to Starlight, like, we understand. Like, I agree, but I'm saying, like, I'm not saying he should have been redeemed, but he should have had something that revealed that he maybe deserved to be on the 7. There was a reason that he's been around this whole time, and he just kind of just gets pushed to the side. He kills Black Noir in the most, like, anticlimactic fashion after they've had this whole huge thing. The stakes were crazy. It's like he slights Black Noir with the whole bringing in Stan Edgar, and then Black Noir goes, okay, what I'll get back to you on the podcast or whatever, and then the Deep responds by killing that director who's been like the creative voice of Vought, and now he's doing a stage play and whatever. So kills him, and then Black Noir responds with, okay, I'm gonna burst the pipeline and kill millions of fish, millions and millions of fish, and the Deep's just like, what the fuck, man, and ends up just choking him out and stabbing him with a knife in the neck. Yeah, there could have been this huge altercation, this huge thing that could have happened that they just went, nah, fuck it.
Well, that's part of the issue with the show, is that it is about superheroes, and then the action is usually not super great.
Yeah,
and that's it's like I don't know if they don't have the budget for it or what, but the action is usually it's not good.
I think
generally
the best way to summarize the whole season is when they go to Marathon Man's house. They go to Marathon Man's house, and we meet Jared Padalecki, and we meet a few other. We meet Mika Collins, who all of them from Supernatural. They were like plugging this hard. They're like, they're gonna have these characters. They're all gonna be together. Jensen Ackles, and they're all gonna be together. Isn't that awesome?
Seth Rogen,
and then Seth Rogen, and then Will Forte and McLovin, and it's so they have this just thing. They introduce people just to kill them. Like there's I don't know if we really needed to, like, that's the whole thing. They're like, okay, now we're gonna have Homelander and fucking Soldier Boy just running around killing these guys. Isn't that awesome? Don't you have fun with this? I'm like, but we already have a bunch of established characters and a bunch of established shithead superheroes. Why aren't they being killed?
I don't know. I thought it was
Why are we introducing Bomb Sight?
I thought it was kind of funny to bring in all these stupid cameos and then horribly murder them one by one.
I agree. I think it's what they did with that was good. I just don't think it fit what we needed to see for the boys. Like, they kill A-Train in episode 1. Like, okay, he kind of had an anticlimactic death to a certain extent. Homelander just snaps his neck. Ugh. Yeah. There's not like a huge blowout between them besides there being like the chase scene is kind of cool. And the way that A-Train is going through this episode, his arc and him like converting to the boys, he's like basically a member of the boys.
He's the boy.
And he's one of the boy. And and then they kind of just kill him. Like, okay, so this is what's going to happen. This is the consistent theme. One of them is going to die every episode. And I mean, sort of happened. Like, we have Soldier Boy just get sort of just choked out and thrown into a thing. Does not return in the last episode.
No.
They're just going to put him on ice.
His spin-off.
He's going to get his little spin-off, so they put him on ice. They kind of rewrote his character a bit to be more... I feel like they kind of wanted him to be a bit more of a better guy. Like, more palatable.
I don't know about that. He was still a horrible dickhead.
He was still a dickhead, but like a little bit more... I don't know, like that he could lead a show, and that maybe you're like, well, maybe we could watch something with someone who's egregiously horrible.
He's still pretty horrible.
He's still pretty horrible.
Some of his lines, though, were the ones that had us cracking up the hardest, because it's like, this is exactly what a man from the 50s would say, unironically.
Yes, and an unbelievably powerful man who has no problems, has no issues.
I can't recall any of them, but we were like crying laughing a couple times. So
yeah, his character has always been good. He was so fucking funny. I mean, it was obviously they had to wrap up storylines, and some of the storylines are just like, here you go. Yeah. Here's the ending of it. Here, we ended the storyline. Here you go. Done.
They did do it twice with 2 of the deaths that are supposed to be like super shocking, but weren't at all, where they kind of gave it a moment of viewing the person that really loved them just sobbing and crying.
Mm-hmm.
That was done pretty well, in my opinion, like showing the actual emotion happening and just lingering on it for a minute.
But even the deaths, like the death in the uranium chamber or whatever, like kind of awkward, kind of weird. Death is off screen.
Yeah, it feels almost like that's what I was sitting there thinking. I'm like, maybe what happens is if we're talking spoilers and everything like that, I've already said a bunch.
Sure.
But like whenever like it happens, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe Frenchie's the one who comes back. Like maybe he's dead, but he's the one who has the powers. Maybe he ends up doing it. He like succeeded on it, and he's gonna come back because they gave him like a really weird, unceremonious death.
No, and that is sort of the thing, is that there isn't really any twists in the stories. Like it sort of just all plays out how it's being telegraphed to play out. Like,
I know.
It plays out how you sort of would expect.
And
it
I
to play
feel
out.
like maybe that's the way to defy expectations potentially, is that you think you're expecting them to defy expectations. You're like, okay, there's going to be a huge twist.
I did
and
think that Deep
there.
was going to get a redemption, and I thought it was fucking hilarious that he did not. I actually loved that.
So, I mean, like, thinking back on it, like, I'm like, some of this is fitting. I get it, but at other times I'm like, come on, like, I think there could have been, like, bigger scenes. I think Firecracker's death it felt, like, that one felt kind of reasonable, I would say. I mean, I wasn't expecting her to have a huge blowout battle with somebody, but just for her to like be kind of like in this position that she's been put in, and just for Homelander just to push her head into that eagle. Done.
It's like I did.
So I mean, it just felt like a lot of it was kind of unceremonious. Like it was weird. She got that. Noir got a knife to the neck. The Deep just had an octopus tentacle go through his whole body, his ass and out his mouth. Fucking Allfather blew up his own head with a gag ball.
Oh, Father, yeah.
Oh, Father. I keep calling him All Father. Oh, Father.
To interject, these names sound fucking stupid.
Well,
yeah,
I hate them.
Yeah.
It sounds ridiculous.
They're superhero names. Yeah, Black Noir. He's like a mysterious ninja. The Deep. He is like
he's Aquaman.
He's Aquaman. Oh, Father. He's like an evangelical preacher.
Oh, Father was a good addition.
I think he was a great hero, or not hero. I think he was a great
person.
character.
No,
I felt like he was a good character to throw in there. I feel like we needed to have like some more strong characters thrown in there, but I feel like they were just still introducing characters just to watch them be killed, as opposed to doing stuff with the story. Like Marathon Man just happened to know that bomb site had the V1, but also didn't really know. He kind of knew it, but he also kind of lied about it. He was unsure, and so you're like, okay, we just have to introduce this character.
I would like to say rest in peace. And
rest in peace,
rest
Terror.
in peace, Terror. The worst death in the whole entire series.
Poor Bulldog.
What did you rate the entire series of The Boys?
The entire series?
Yep, you beat it.
We did beat the whole series. I would say season 8.
Whoa.
What the fuck? 8 episodes. I don't know. Season 5 itself is probably like a 5 out of 10. It is just like, I think they did some cool things and they did some bad things. The whole series, despite the way that it ended, if I went back and rewatched all of it, I'd probably still give it a 6 or 7.
Yeah, I would give it a 7 out of 10.
At least a 7, yeah.
And the whole time still wishing that season 4 and season 5 should have been all one season.
Because I don't think that it was as egregious as the way Game of Thrones ended. No. I think that
is a bad last episode.
That is a bad
ending.
They went down to the fucking bunkers to hide from the last episode of season 8.
Yeah,
they hid. The fucking creators, those slimy little
4.
fucks, hid.
Yeah, that is an actively horrible ending. This is a more milquetoast kind of boring ending.
Yeah,
but I would still
it's not so horrible, but it's not good.
And I would say that, like I think the last episode was not that bad. I think that compared to, I think that what it could have been, I think it could have been better. How would I have made it better? I don't necessarily know. But
right, we don't gotta know though. We didn't make it.
Yeah, we didn't make it. That's not for us. We are consumers, so we're consuming
and judging.
And judging. We're judgers. But yeah, for what happened, the way they just dealt with Homelander and the way they dealt with Butcher. I felt like
those were good.
Like
the Homelander's ending was obvious, and
yeah,
obviously you do it this way, and I was fine with that. Butcher's ending I liked a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like that was good.
Those
I
were
felt like
pretty
very fun.
satisfying. Yeah.
Yeah, like him refusing to back down from his kind of crazy beliefs, and he's so unbelievably stubborn that it killed him.
Yeah. And I mean, even at the end, like he says it, like, I mean, he did kind of pull his hand off the detonator a little bit, but he was like, I wouldn't have stopped.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, I was going to do it.
And I was going to do it. And if he wouldn't have done it today, it would have been a week from now, whenever he's like,
Right.
okay, I got all of them off on their own life, and then I'm going to go do it. Like,
I was though reminded that I don't remember what season 2. When we find out he's addled with cancer in his brain, and that's making him crazy.
so that was season 4.
Okay, so that kind of was an added reminding. Okay, he's back, and now he's not a soup anymore. So he's back in
Cancer
that
gone.
cancer addled.
I don't know if he is still addled by cancer. I don't know if that is true.
But the thing is, so what happens
But I
is,
think you might be able to interpret it.
so
I don't know.
season 3, they were juicing up with
Temp V.
him and Huey, and Huey stopped just enough before the cancer would start, and he did that extra dose, Butcher did, and that's what gave him the cancer. So throughout season 4, I mean, like, Homelander even makes a point to say, like, I can see that tumor in your fucking brain, and that's whenever, I guess, he dove deeper into it. And
Yeah, but Nikki, I don't know if he was still crazy from that. I just don't know. They don't really get into it.
because he just kind of seems like regular Butcher.
Regardless, he's a very messed up human being.
He's always
so
been pretty crazy.
Yeah,
so.
he seemed like that. I mean, season 4, he was literally seeing things.
that's what I meant.
But
Like,
season 5, he didn't. I don't think he was seeing things. I think he just, I think that the V saved him probably, and then when he became normal, he got rid of it. And I guess maybe that also, even if he would have still had the cancer, it was the cancer from the V. So maybe it was once he got his powers yoinked away, it took away everything. It stripped it all away.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's possible.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm glad it's over though. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like it wasn't
exhausting.
the best ending, but I'm glad that it ended like this. Like, I would rather it ended like this than live. Like, I'd rather it die a hero than
It could have
live
died a
long
hero in,
enough to
like,
be a villain.
maybe last season.
Twice.
Did you come up with that?
No,
No, I've
Drink every time you hear.
that existed.
You would have had 2 sips this episode.
That's reasonable.
Any more TV shows?
No.
Books. How many books you got, Nikki?
I have 3 books again.
Okay, let me say my book, and then you can go book crazy.
Booko
You
mode.
can go booko mode. I
We have
listened.
merch. That's our first merch drop.
I'm gonna go Booko mode.
All you beaters out there can go buy our merch.
You beaters. That's what we call our fans.
Oh,
Our
The
fans
beaters.
are
no,
beaters.
we
What
don't. No, we
Like
don't.
what we
no, we
beat
don't.
last
That's
week.
bad.
Yeah.
We're all the
Oh,
bunch of
I rebuke that one.
Beaters, get in the comments.
No.
Say how much you want this merch.
I hate that.
cut this.
We have men beaters. We have women beaters.
No, we do not.
Child beaters.
No.
Fans of all sorts.
Cut that.
I listened. I listened to a book. It's a sci-fi book called "There's No Antimemetics Division." What show is it?
Okay, I'll keep it quick. I watched The Worst Ex Ever on Netflix, and it's wild. It's all about horrible exes who actually try to murder people. Unsurprisingly, most of them are set in Florida. There is more seasons. I don't know that I'll watch them. I don't know that I would recommend it to anybody, but it was a ride. It was a ride.
The Florida man is always
Don't date
entertaining
him.
to some degree,
Is
but
the
don't
lesson
date him.
from this. Don't date a strange man from Florida. And
I've
I
been
think,
saying.
I think
I've
we're
been
already
on,
there.
girl. I've been there for years.
I've been there. But yeah, I would rate it like maybe 4 out of 10. Maybe
Shoo.
5 if you really like true crime, but I don't love true crime.
But you watched it all.
I did. I finished it.
Huh.
All of them were about men except one.
It's like the worst show you've ever talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
It was short. It was only like 4 episodes, so it was easy to get
okay.
through. Okay.
Makes sense. Okay,
Book
so
one way
I
back.
listened to a book called "There's No Antimemetics Division."
I've heard of that.
It is by Quantum. That was the author's name. Is like QNTM. That's
What?
their pen name.
Oh, it's a pen name. Okay.
This is a very, very interesting book. I liked it a lot. It is in the same exact vein as, if you know what SCP is, or the game Control. It's like an organization out there, may or may not be connected to a government, is collecting anomalies and keeping people safe from weird scientific anomalies. So shit like crazy shit. It's not quite supernatural. The only thing that makes it not supernatural is that it's sci-fi. It's like they sort of have pretend scientific explanations for things, and it's not all magic, but it's things that are dangerous that normal people don't know about, and they collect it and they store it and they keep it contained. And
So it's like Area 51,
yeah, sure.
but not real.
Yeah.
And this is called the Unknown Organization, and they collect unknowns.
Ooh.
But we are following the Antimemetics division, which antimemetics are things that make you forget in one way or another. So it's like creatures that you meet and then you forget about them, so you don't even know they exist. And so they use things like pills and stuff to like retain, the people in this division use medicine to like retain their memories so they can fight these things. And it's
That's wild.
it is wild. It's very interesting because it starts with you don't know a whole lot about the division. You learn it has like 193 people, and then next time they talk about it, you learn it has like 115 people, and then the next time they mention it, it's like 80 people.
Oof.
And at no point does somebody say, "Yeah, we've been losing a lot of people."
Huh.
It's like,
If they do, they disappear.
Maybe it's like ebb and flows or something.
no,
Shit happens.
they just don't remember those people.
Oh,
they just
fuck.
completely don't remember that they existed.
Oh
Whoa.
shit!
So
That's awesome.
it's very fun in that way, and there's a lot of irony because the reader knows a lot more than the characters know, because the characters lose a lot of memories throughout
Dramatic
the book.
Okay,
irony.
that's like an actually really fun device to use. Like
Yes.
the characters losing their memory, but the narrator and like the reader doesn't. That's
Right,
interesting.
yeah, and it's like it's like you learn that the Antimemetics division was much bigger, and that it has existed in multiple different ways, and like there has been cataclysmic things that have made them like erase their own memories of everything, and the division had to be restarted like from base principles all over again. It's like so it's very cool, and it gets like a little apocalyptic-y. We switch characters like halfway through from someone named Quinn to somebody else named Quinn, which is kind of fun.
Okay. What?
They're married.
Oh, was this the last name?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like, I love the thing. Like, I also love the fun little anomalies they throw in there. Like, there's like a statue that if you get too close to it, it makes you forget about how to ride a bike.
Okay, that's funny.
So oddly specific.
And it's
You
like,
never forget.
and it's like
A lot
that.
of bike crashes right around there. Huh?
It's like, this is a South Pacific god of forgetting how to ride a bike that inhabits a statue.
Weirdly specific gods are so funny. That's so fun.
And it's like the only reason they found it was because a antimemetics person went into a museum that the statue was in. He drove there on his bike and then couldn't drive his bike back home. And he had to like
it's only bikes. It's not any other kind of.
correct. And it's like the organization does
That's so
not
funny.
know how what this being did before the invention of bicycles. The being itself claims that
I really
bicycles.
loves the penny farthing and is pissed.
The being itself claims that bicycles have existed and have been forgotten many, many times, or something like
my
that. It's like,
God.
That's
Gosh.
hilarious. I love
so
that.
funny.
so it's they sprinkle a lot of fun things like that. It's like
Okay, that makes me want to read it.
there's an unknown where somebody has to go in every 63 days and no information can go out of that room. So they have no idea what's in there, but somebody has to go in every 63 days. It's just a bunch of shit
Do
like
they
that.
come out?
Yeah, they come out,
But nobody knows.
but they don't remember. They have to like anesthetize themselves.
That's so weird.
Amnestitize themselves. They've got amnetics and netics, something like that. to
Something
remember
to
and
make
forget.
you
Forget and then
amnesia,
remember.
and then something to
Yeah, it's like
amnesia.
it's like they, yes, exactly.
To amnesia.
Yeah, there you go.
They've gotten very good at removing memories and keeping memories. So they use that as a tool a lot. So yeah, it's very cool. It's very interesting. This would be such a challenging book to write. It's like around memories and things like that, and like have to make your basically your own magic system in the whole forgetting and remembering things. Like he makes it very complicated. I enjoyed it so much. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Nice.
I've heard really good reviews of it, and I've seen it on lists of fantasy books to get boys into reading. So that's actually really
That's
funny
hilarious.
that you read that.
I agree. It is a fantasy book to get boys into reading. I 100% agree with that. Nikki, go!
What did you rate
Go,
it?
Nikki, go!
He already rated
4.5
Oh,
out of
sorry.
5.
Sorry. I was adding it to my to read list because I forgot to do it.
Yeah, I
before.
think I might add that to my list too.
And it's pretty short. It's an easy listen.
So all of
Diegetic.
our people that are scared of reading out there,
Diuretic.
nope.
What is a diuretic?
Diuretic
Helps
makes
you
you
poop.
Helps you poop.
Or yes, it's for like
Oh,
water
it is for
intake.
Helps you poop out of your pee
so like a
hole.
water pill.
That's a bad thing. Don't do that.
Diuretic, I think, and also like coffee are considered
Green tea.
diuretics.
Cranberry juice.
Anyways, I read The Once and Future Me by Melissa Pace. I saw this popping up on book media as like, must read this. It's awesome. So I did.
She was influenced.
I was influenced. I had no idea really what to expect going in. And once again, my flabbers were gasted.
Gross.
Because it starts out, I wanted to pull this up because I couldn't remember what year this starts out in. 1954.
Okay.
You're in the POV of this female main character. She wakes up. She's on a bus. She doesn't know where she's going. She doesn't know who she is. She doesn't
Like a
know
Greyhound
anything.
bus?
The bus pulls up
Oh god.
to a mental institution.
Uh-oh.
Worst case scenario in the 50s. Oh my god.
Not what you want to
They're
find
gonna
out.
lobotomize her.
She is like, I'm not supposed to be here.
Says a crazy
I'm not supposed to be
person.
here. Exactly. Right? So she gets like intake processed into this mental institution. She has no idea. Again, she still doesn't really. They tell her what her name is, and she's like, I don't think that's my name.
I don't think you're right.
I'm not who you think I am.
But she doesn't remember anything. She just feels wrong.
Doesn't remember anything. She does see, or she thinks she sees, another woman is on the bus, takes her purse from her, and then she sees when the bus is pulling away, that woman is in the back of the bus, like waving at her out the back window.
That's spooky.
Oh.
Did she really see that person? Did that person
Is her purse really gone?
exist? Did she ever have a purse?
This sounds like a very interesting premise. I'm hooked.
Okay, maybe it's a toxic trait. I think I could talk my way out of an asylum. I think I could.
Is that
do
like
it.
one of your one of
Should
those?
we try it?
That's what I think it's. Is that one of those
journalism exercise?
impossible tasks or whatever? Like when people think that they're like, oh, I could probably cook a 5-star meal, like sort of things like that. You're like, that's
Or
what
I
you
could
think.
beat Serena Williams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I could.
Side
But mine is.
eye
I think I could
there.
talk my way out of an asylum. People are always. Did she mention all the crazy shit she saw? Was she like, I saw a person?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
they're like,
I wouldn't do that. Step
well,
one, don't do all
okay,
that.
first of all, it's 1954,
Okay,
And she's a woman.
and she's a woman.
sure.
And mental institutions then were also very,
Yeah.
very different.
So I would have a way easier time.
What would you? What
You
would,
should read
Joey,
of Nellie Bly, who did that originally.
Joey, what's your argument? Let me
Who?
hear it.
Accurate.
You. What's your argument?
I just wouldn't say
Okay, but if they
a bunch of crazy shit like that, and I would just be like,
Anything would
"What am
sound
I?
crazy,
What am I? What are you diagnosing me with?"
And they're like, well, you have some
Crazy
like.
people ask those
I
kind
mean,
of
that's what we're here to
questions, too.
figure out. You got checked into this place. And
Okay, well then let's do some like tests and stuff. Yeah,
you're
I
being
agree.
kind of combative right now.
And then they
my,
shoot you
my
with
mistake. I'm
lithium.
sorry.
Interesting. So narcissism. No.
Can we get back to Nikki's book corner?
But they're like, here,
So,
take this
Nikki,
pill real
take it
quick.
away.
If you're not crazy, take this pill.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Let Nikki talk.
Sorry.
Well, but that's also what they do in this
Mm-hmm.
book. You know, it's a lot of manipulation. the whole time you're questioning if she's actually a crazy person or is she here via time travel.
Oh,
Interesting.
Because her husband is like, yeah, she says these really weird words that I've never heard of before.
Like goated.
Sure.
6'7".
Yeah.
Steez.
Steez.
Like
Why
Steez.
do we keep talking about
Moxie.
Steez?
My
God.
Moxie
And
would
no,
be
Moxie, they'd be
50s.
like, yeah, that.
Oh, they're like,
Super
oh,
That's
normal.
of the
Moxie.
time. That's of the
Yeah,
time.
she's full of Moxie, that's for sure. She's all right.
And then they snap their suspenders.
There is some horrific depiction, description, etc., post-treatment visualization of lobotomy,
Ooh, really?
of shock treatment.
Ooh, that's scary.
I think I could tank that.
Oh my god!
What do you think it was like? I think you
just-
should actually read the work of Nellie
Which
Bly.
one?
Because it's
Lobotomy
not like
or
they
shock
asked
treatment?
you if you want a lobotomy. They strapped you down and
Yeah, I know.
put
I think
a
I could just,
spike
like-
in your fucking
I think it would have been
skull.
fine.
You're right. It's like my brain's really
After they
strong.
drugged
Like, I
you
could-
quite a bit, so you're sedated.
I would just think in other parts of my brain.
Right.
I would allocate my soul to a different spot.
Yeah, I've got like
Right,
unused
right,
space
right,
up
right,
there.
right.
You wouldn't
So-
believe how much unused space I have in there.
Anyways,
God, I'm
Ice-
getting annoyed. Shut up.
it's using an
Both of you shut up.
using an ice pick through your tear duct to just poke out pieces of your frontal lobe, which is
Important.
You guessed it, really important.
It's real important for
to your
most
decision making
things.
and your
To your
ability to feel
emotional-
emotions.
yeah.
So, anyways,
Communication
no, you
even.
couldn't just tank that.
Certainly couldn't think around it if it was gone. Fucking that's an 8 God.
So that in and of itself makes this like scary and thrilling,
Yeah.
right? That's already enough for me to be scared and to be
Mm-hmm.
thrilled. And then there's like all this added layer of what is the truth, what's really happening, who is this person? There's like horrific people working at this institution that you're always keeping your eye on. Like, what horrific thing are they gonna do to this main character, and when is it gonna happen? How's it gonna play out? So this was awesome. I don't want to give away there's a couple different twists. I will say it does not end with a real 360-degree conclusion. So if that's something you really need out of a book, you're not going to get it with this one.
That's good to know going in, though.
Yes, don't expect to be like, okay, all the bows are tied. And
What is it called again?
this is called The Once and Future Me by Melissa Pace.
So where would you put this compared? Have you seen Shutter Island?
Nope.
Okay.
This is the premise of Shutter Island.
And so, yeah, he's not like a time traveler, but he believes that he's an FBI agent coming to investigate a murder on this asylum known as Shutter Island off in the distance. And yeah, we find out that he's towards the end. They go, well, you're actually the crazy person, and they've kind of been doing this the whole time to him. They've been kind of preparing him for this, but at the end, it's kind of unclear whether or not he was. For the most part, I think people kind of agree that he was an insane person who did all these things, and then he just kind of accepted his fate at that point, because he at the end he goes off to die. He's like, they're gonna kill me or lobotomize me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he just kind of goes, you know what? I'd rather die knowing, or at least believing, that I'm the good guy in the situation than live having to accept that I'm a crazy murderous piece of shit.
I think this was extra trippy for me because I work on a regular basis with people that actually have paranoid schizophrenia, and live in delusion on a daily basis. So,
Did it make you more sympathetic?
I mean, I'm always.
I'm not that you need it, but like,
It had me really looking at, this is what there are people that actually struggle with this or have these absolute. You hear it and you're like, well, obviously that isn't really happening. In their mind, it is really happening. So
and
that
things happening in your mind aren't like less scary than real life.
no,
just because
sometimes
they're
it's
not
more
real.
scary if it's not tangible, but it feels really real. So I definitely enjoyed this psychological thriller for sure. A little bit kind of sci-fi-ish in some of the pieces that are involved. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Cool.
Next book I read,
Sounds very interesting.
Fellowship of the Ring, J.R.R. Tolkien.
I've heard of that.
Fellowship of the Ring. It sounds like you were at the Oscars.
Well, and I did listen to this audiobook, Andy Serkis version.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. Him voicing, he did such a good job. Although the song moments were much, much worse in audiobook form versus reading it with my eyeballs. So
Yeah. Those are kind of rough.
there were a couple that I did skip
I did the same
like
thing
15
when I listened
seconds
to it.
forward
Yep.
because they're so long.
Oh, wow.
Some of the songs are so long and it's like, oh, please.
Yeah, that's when it becomes apparent that these are obviously like a creative writing exercise for Mr. Tolkien, and
Yep.
he isn't always thinking about the the reader's experience, but whatever.
He said, I love this one. I'm going to keep it.
Yep.
Yep. This is my masterpiece.
I can understand that as an artist. Like,
Yep.
I think that's based.
maybe
I
it's
think
not.
that's awesome.
Maybe it's not for the viewer. Maybe it's
Yep.
just for the
And the thing
creator.
is, skipping through that didn't lose any of the sauce of the
No.
story or anything. You know, it was just fine. What I love about the Fellowship of the Ring is elves.
And that's it.
More
Love
elves, and more elves.
Hell yeah.
Love to see it, love to hear it, love to be in that world and pretend that is where I am.
That makes sense for you, Nikki. That
We
tracks so much.
We spend more time in Rivendell in the book, right?
Yeah.
More time in Rivendell and more time in Lothlorien.
Lothlorien. We get to Lothlorien in book 1.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yup, and it's awesome.
Lothlorien is awesome. I feel like they
Galadriel and who the fuck? What's the other dude?
Teleporno.
Nope.
That's her husband.
No, who's the other?
Arwen? Oh no, she's not in the book, is she?
Who's would be with Galadriel in Lothlorien, riding on a swan boat? Okay, well,
Her husband's name
I don't think it was him.
is Teleporno.
Who
We can
cares?
look it up.
They change his name later to
5
something
different computers in
Oh.
front of us.
better. But who are you talking?
They like have dinner with the Fellowship as they're leaving Lothlorien via boat, and they're in a swan boat, and just the way that is described in the book was very pleasing to me.
The way Lothlorien is described as like dreamlike and ethereal is so much more interesting in the book. It's so fun.
Yeah, and I feel like they did do a good job depicting that in the movie for 2002 or whenever it came
Yeah.
out. But yeah, of course, it's much more intricately described and fleshed out in the book.
And does Galadriel talk to people while she's also talking in other people's heads? Does that happen in the book? She does some crazy shit that it's like, oh yeah, this is
I
like a
don't know.
several thousand-year-old magical being. Yeah, she can do that.
She do kind of be a witch. They did that was another thing they did really well with the movie versus the book when she's like, I passed the test after she goes sicko mode.
I would be a queen.
The
as
most
dark
beautiful
and
of all.
as the earth,
Which is so scary
and
in the
all
movie.
would look at me.
It's-
Something like that.
It's like exactly like that in the book, and it's awesome. But voiced by Andy Serkis, which is funny. 5 out of 5, obviously.
Oh, wow.
How are Andy Serkis's female voices?
He just does it normally. He's not like trying to be weird about it.
talk
Doesn't make it weird.
That,
no.
that- that was something.
He just is he's very talented at
Yes.
doing voice,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Kind of funny we don't get any Gollum voice in this book, though.
Right. Well, you'll get fucking plenty of it in the
Yeah,
other
I'm sure
ones.
I'll get tired of it.
Yeah. That was something I didn't touch on with the audiobook I listened to, is that her voices were not awesome. Like, they were pretty samey throughout, which is like, you don't have to be super theatrical with it, but it is useful to know who is talking when, because I can't see who's talking. I can't see when there's like breaks and stuff.
Right.
So I need to know who's talking.
Yeah.
And that was not awesome. And in Dungeon Crawler Carl, he's really good at female voices.
Oh.
Like, kind of crazy good at them.
Suspiciously
That's a good talent.
Bro's been on like some voice feminization discords or something.
And then the final book that I read is called Equilibrium by Emmy Evinger. And this is one that I got from a
Blind box.
kind of. I follow a book blogger, and she will send out an email with a compilation of a whole bunch of free Kindle ebooks available that you can download for free. And so this is kind of like a indie book. Nobody knows about it.
Right.
There was like 17 reviews on Goodreads.
Yeah, the thing with like Kindle Unlimited, they get some amount of money per read from Amazon instead of like trying to sell their book, because obviously it's very hard to get somebody to buy from a brand new author. So it's like Amazon has this deal. If you let them put it on Kindle Unlimited, it's basically like Spotify or whatever, where you get like a certain amount of money per.
I don't think
read.
this is Kindle Unlimited though. I don't have
I thought
Kindle
that's
Unlimited.
what you said.
No,
What'd you say?
Amazon.
I didn't say Kindle. It free Kindle. It's marked down to $0 on Kindle, and she compiles that and says, "Here, look, these books are free,
Why are
and
they
they're
free?
actually good." Huh?
Why are they free?
I don't know.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
Anyways, I didn't know what to expect going into this because this is the first one I've actually read that this lady has suggested. And then I have like a billion books downloaded on my Kindle. Put a pin in that. We'll come back to that in a moment. And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. It was actually pretty good. My biggest fear going into it is that there would be a whole bunch of typos, because that has been what I've noticed in the past with like indie books. The editing is just really horrible. There was only like 2 that I noticed, and I'd be noticing them.
That's not
And
bad.
I'd be noticing.
It was pretty good. I'm really curious what I will think after I read Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, because apparently this was heavily inspired by that. So I'm wondering if it's just
Lifted a whole
plot
cloth
for plot
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't know yet. But it was actually really well written and a pretty deep. This is a romantasy. Okay, you're getting like the classic enemies to lovers situation. It's a little bit corny, porny, but not like horrifically so. I wasn't throwing up in my mouth or anything. There was only the occasional unwanted description,
Wild word choice.
word used for thing that I would rather just not. It can be implied without doing that.
Without. Yeah, I understand.
Did you hear any new ones or just a bunch of the classics?
No, these were all classics.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Classic in a bad way.
Well, yeah.
But it actually had a decent plot and good, well written,
Wow.
good character development. We kind of talked about this last night where because the male main character is like a horrible person and very evil and bad. And so halfway through, 75% of the way through, I was still like, why is she okay with this dude? Like, he kind of sucks. And then finally we got some redemption, and I was like, oh, okay, so
He has his face turn.
He's been a heel the whole time.
Yeah.
Point at me. I'll explain it.
Yes, sir.
In WWE terms. Thank you.
oh my god.
I like wrestling.
So I gave this a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay. For free.
It's not as good as some other 4 out of 5 stars, but yeah,
But
for
it was
free.
free.
I don't know if it's still
That's pretty
free,
good.
but for this being this person's first like published novel, I think it's really good.
Good.
So I said put a pin in that because I am now going to spin a picker wheel that I created
Fun.
that has all of the ebooks currently on my Kindle that I haven't read yet, and then I will announce
fun.
what it picks. I may end up reading another book before the next time we record, besides the one that I also spin, but here we go. It's spinning. The Tombs of Atuan.
Oh, we've already read
We've
this.
previously discussed. I haven't read it.
Oh.
I don't think. I hope not.
Sounds familiar.
We talked about Ursula K. Le Guin. It's an Ursula K. Le Guin
Okay.
novel. I think
okay.
I may have thrown out that title because it's one of her popular books. So
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
I will
Exciting.
be reading that
Okay,
off of my
yeehaw.
Kindle next.
Do we have any other books?
That's all the books I got. Any other literates out there?
I'm in the middle of a book. That's all I got.
All right.
Josiah, what books did you read this
Shut the
week?
fuck up.
You beat
Shut
me video
up.
games?
I ain't got time. I don't got time to watch movies and shows. How can I even fucking read a book? Just gonna let my brain rot out of my ears, and
You just gotta listen.
hopefully I'll be happy with
just gotta listen
my
to
life
books.
then. All right.
That really helps.
I can't listen 8 hours a day while I'm working. I can't listen to anything. No, I'm not able to. I'm not able to do my job and listen to like
I don't
podcasts and
listen
shit.
to books 40 hours a week. I listen in the car. I listen while I'm folding laundry.
Trump card.
I could.
While
Doing
I'm,
chores,
Too busy.
getting ready.
while I'm taking a
busy watching.
shower.
Horrible YouTube shorts. While I'm...
True.
I did turn
Oh.
off. Hey, I did put that 15-minute limit on my.
Oh, nice.
I probably need to set it to 0.
You beat any YouTube shorts this week?
Fucking. It'll tell me. It'll yell at me like, "Hey, you reached your limit." I went. I just get pissed at myself. I go, "Fuck." First of all, I'm angry that I did it in the first place. Second of all, don't tell me what I can and can't do with my time.
Don't tell me what I can't do. Lost still has the best series finale of all series finales. Speaking of series finales, Lost still has the best series finale. Thanks for listening.
Wait,
What?
I just double checked on Goodreads. I did read the Tuesday.
Yeah, we thought so.
I thought that I
That's-
double checked this because I
sounded
saw
a
it.
little
sounded
too
familiar.
familiar.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
it on
Yeah.
my Kindle and was like, didn't
I'm
I
like,
already
it
read
seems
that? I
we've
must
said
not have.
that too many times.
Yeah.
So
But-
now it's Shadow and Bone.
Which very ironically is what I just said.
Well,
Equilibrium
perfect.
is
You can,
inspired by.
you can
So
compare and contrast.
that's what I will read instead.
Yeehaw! All right.
Thank you for listening to What We Beat Last Week.
Email us.
Email us at whatwebeatlastweek@gmail.com.
Please.
Please, so we can we'll have a segment where we read your emails if you have any suggestions,
And
corrections,
we'll say, we love you so much. Thank you for emailing us.
and listen again next week or whenever we post another one. Hit
Yeah.
that bell, subscribe,
Hit
and
that
follow. That way
bell,
you
dude.
know when we do it, since we don't do it consistently. So
But we, you know what? One of these days.
one of these days we will. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Everyone's got the
You know that has
virus.
that.
Everyone's got it right
Everyone's
now.
got it.
I
And
think
what
that if
kind
you-
of
if you took a-
pronunciation was that?
If you
Tantu?
I just am. I don't know. I think it.
Get that from?
That's just called illiteracy. That's called illiteracy. That's what that is. No, that looks like it'd give you the Hawktua virus or something.
Oh my god.
All
just
you
want a
brought me
sound
back.
bite.
You brought me back.
Anyways.
You were out, but now you're.